Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
The Sumner Redstone story is...
Isn't it the best?
It's fascinating.
Well, you know, we were talking, there's another story in the news about these high school kids that I guess are in trouble for being high school kids because they're making a cake in home ec class.
Oh, yeah.
And like 3 of them jerked off in the frosting. And then they mixed it into the frosting. And they watched everybody enjoy a slice.
They brought it to class and gave it to everyone? Who ratted? I guess you have to. If you come in a cake and everyone eats it, you got to tell someone.
I guess the teacher found out about it?
No, the teacher's the one who ate it. It was apple turnovers.
The teacher ate some cum apple turnovers?
Yeah. How did she find out? Who tells?
She was like, "Ooh, it's tangier than usual,
or better than normal."
Yeah,
she smeared it on her face.
Yeah, she figured it out by taste immediately. She knew the taste of teenage jism.
I mean, they're freshman kids, so they can't keep that a secret because you want to tell people,
right?
You'd want to tell people if you did that.
Absolutely.
If you're 14 years old. Because that's a freshman, right? 14?
Yeah.
If you're 14 years old and you figured out a prank that was so good, you got your home ec teacher to eat jizzy cake.
Yeah.
You got your home ec teacher to eat something out of your body, specifically semen. You're not keeping that to yourself.
You probably tell that to everyone.
Yeah.
I was coming those.
And you know what? Like, even after this is over, after all the sort of like, you know, the news story fades out of the news and everything, 10 years from now, when they're in their 20s, they'll still be telling the story.
They will, unless they'll be laughing about it. I mean,
they will.
How much? I mean, that's like there's definitely a criminal charge with that.
There could be.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still funny though.
Hilarious and delicious.
But that's what I was thinking when I'm
Makes you want to be a home ec teacher.
Sure does. Have a turnover, boys.
But you look at they're 14 years old. And they're sitting there, and they're coming and frosting and trying to get the teacher to eat it. And that's like the pinnacle of humor for them. But 80 years later, you got Sumner Redstone, who's 93, who's a billionaire, who's done everything. And he's still just kind of trying to figure out how to come.
That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to figure out who gets his cum as well.
Yes.
He doesn't have to sneak it in.
No.
He has to pay up front. I mean, he's got to buy gifts. When you're in your 90s, you got to buy gifts. You got to pay off credit cards, and then you get to fuck whoever you want. But what a life he lives. Oh, he's great.
They were saying today, so I guess a couple of his ex-lovers, or at least one of them, is filing a lawsuit. I think a couple of them are.
Well, did he file a suit against? He filed a suit against them, or one of them, for $150 million to recoup. I think it was what he said was being bilked out of these gifts. Like, he was saying that they kind of victimized him and took advantage of him. Mm-hmm. And I think he's suing them, which is why this stuff is coming out, because he's going after money.
Well, the deal is simple. It's not the most friendly thing in the world, but if you're a woman who's not an elderly woman, if like you're a woman and you still got some sexuality left in you, and you end up dating or hanging out with or doing whatever with a 93-year-old billionaire, you have to understand that you are volunteering to a relationship where you have a different job than a traditional relationship. Like, you're there to kind of do what he wants done, and he's going to pay for everything. He's going to make sure you're taken care of for life. Like, you put in the work, and then you're taken care of for life.
You're basically an intern for his cock.
Yeah.
You're his cock's intern. But he gave $6 million to one of his grandson's girlfriend's friends. How awesome is that? He probably saw this young chippy, excuse me, and he's like, she brought her friend over, and he's like, she's kind of cute.
I can't even imagine living where like those are the amounts that you throw around. You know what I mean? Like, to most people, even rich people, would be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna try to get near this girl. I'm gonna give her $10,000. You know what I mean? You just write her a check for $10,000 so she knows you're serious. Sumner Redstone is so far removed from everything in the world. He's like, oh, your friend's pretty cute. Give her $6 million.
Well, that was probably over time. He's not a good-looking man, and I know he was in a fire at one point. He was like in a life-threatening fire many years ago. He got burned. Like, he's had a pretty amazing life. Like, he's a really interesting guy.
You just want to think that at some point you just sit down and don't worry about any of this stuff anymore. Like that this all goes away, and in your 90s, you're just sitting on a chair watching your stories, and you have nothing to worry about anymore. But he's got everything that keeps you up at night, Jim, that has you, like, whether you're jerking off or looking for somebody or whatever it is. All of that has never gone away from him.
Yeah, but it's because you have that kind of money. You see his hand?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize his hand was that messed up. You get that kind of money.
Yeah.
And you can just spend it on pussy. It's really hard not to when you're him. How do you not? You got everything. You're the king of entertainment, really. I mean, you fucking the CEO of Viacom.
And that's what he wants to do. Because he has, business-wise, he's got all the power in the world. So he wants to be able to go out and have that power with women still, too. But physically, he's very unattractive. He's an ugly man.
He's not a good-looking guy.
No.
Is that him right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's him younger.
Younger, yeah. He's fatter there, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's and by younger, he's probably in his 70s in that photo.
Or 60s, yeah. I remember being at Viacom when I was doing MTV stuff or whatever, and we're for me and Jim Florentine years ago did something for VH1. We did a couple of pilots, and it was so funny how everybody would just talk about Sumner. You know, like, oh, Sumner said it, Sumner. He's very, very omnipresent.
He is.
Yeah, man. Like, in that corporation, everything, they were all worried about him. They were all afraid of him. Like, you know, he was like the CEO that everybody talked about.
That's interesting, because a lot of these CEOs, they end up, especially something that big, they end up buying a whole bunch of businesses, and then what actually is happening at the TV network is sort of, who cares? He's not even thinking about it because he's got all these other companies, but not this guy.
We almost never talk about Jim Myers here. We talk about Scott.
Right.
Jim is our boss, and he's our boss's boss. But we don't ever, almost never.
But that's because he's worried about, like, the company as a whole, and Scott is the one who's got everybody who's doing programming kind of aware that he's paying attention to them.
It's because when eventually we get fired, it's going to be Scott who does it. It's not going to be Jim Myers.
We're not on that level.
No. But Sumner's fucking, it's probably embarrassing, but I love the idea that he gave $21 million to an aspiring reality show girl producer, $18 million to a flight attendant on a CBS corporate jet.
Can you imagine that, though? Like, it's a CBS corporate jet. She works for the company that you're running.
Yeah.
It's not like word is not going to spread somewhere throughout the company. So she get the flight attendant $18 million. Then Sumner Redstone slept with the flight attendant's sister and gave her $6 million.
That's not even about the money. That's about, like, I like you, and I want to fuck you, and I'm going to somehow make this happen. So you buy her gifts, and I'm sure you didn't just hand her $21 million. They might, who knows what they did over a course of years. Or I hope he got to fuck her. I hope he got to fuck her. During takeoff and landing and in turbulence. I hope he got to fuck her a lot.
Oh, my God. He got the friend, the friend of his grandson's girlfriend got $6 million and a job at Showtime.
Yeah.
Wow. Just hooking it up. Don't worry about it. I got you a nice job at Showtime, and here's $6 million just to start you out, just to make sure that you can get a nice apartment. He just doesn't know what things cost anymore.
Yeah.
Just to, to get you your first apartment, just to get you up on your feet, maybe buy a couple outfits. Here's $6 million.
Yeah, well, he knows he's not a physical. It's got to be awful to have that much money and be that powerful and be not a great-looking guy.
Yeah, but he had his time.
But he was probably never a great-looking guy.
No, he wasn't a great-looking guy. He wasn't a stud, but he was normal-looking enough.
Look him up younger, yeah.
That he could be a millionaire who still gets pussy. You know what I mean? The reason that he's so physically unattractive now is because he's 93 years old.
Is that him or no?
No, that's George Bush.
Yeah, Sumner Redstone.
Yeah, see, like...
Larry's not bad looking. What do you think he is there? He's like, 60, 65?
That was at the Good Burger premiere. Sumner Redstone at the Good Burger premiere is what that thing said. You think he fucked some of the people? He fucked somebody at the Good Burger premiere?
No, his wife was with him. His wife was with him.
Oh,
that's his wife, yeah.
That probably stopped him.
Yeah.
He was probably really faithful.
There's pictures of him.
See,
she was cute when she was young. That's an actress, though, right? That's not his wife.
I don't know.
That's probably an actress.
He was fine. Like, he looks terrible now because he's been in a fire and he was 93 years old. Like, he's next to death.
He was in a fire when he was young, I think, though. Jonathan told me the whole story about him. He was a young guy when that happened, I think.
Even that photo of him right down there at the bottom of the page.
This one?
Yeah. Like, he's not a classically handsome guy, but he's also not hideous. He's good looking enough that as a billionaire, he can do just fine.
For a billionaire, he's an 11.
Yeah, exactly. He can do just fine. The reason he's got to dole that out now, so you can't sit there and be like, well, it's got to suck for him to look like that and have billions of dollars because he's 93. He's supposed to be done with all this.
No, but meaning like they're only fucking you for the money, and I guess that's part of it.
Point, like,
but he's never been a great looking guy. I like when you look back, I'm like, you see handsome guys, it's just, it just sucks that you want to be one of them.
I bet that's part of it, though. I bet he likes Dolan, not the money. Because the more you read this article that's in the Post this morning about everything Sumner Redstone was doing, there are details that are left out. Like, it doesn't say, some of the women it says that he slept with, but other women it doesn't specifically say that he slept with them. He might just like giving the money.
Yeah, but I no one likes giving the money.
Findoms do.
There is a certain aspect to it whether you like where you just keep the conversation going and they'll do what you want them to do. But he doesn't seem like a big texter. He's like an old school guy. He's probably a come over. He's not a dirty texter.
You don't think that, like, after all these years, like in the daytime, in business and all this stuff, he's making deals and trying to get as much money out of people as humanly possible and trying to fill up his bank account. And then when it comes time to sex, he just loves being submissive and giving people money?
Maybe, sure, but I'm saying I still think you have to have some kind of a real hands-on experience. Oh, you know what? That was 1979. That was not that long ago. He suffered severe burns in a fire at the Copley Plaza Hotel in Boston, but he survived after 30 hours of extensive surgery. He was warned that he might never be able to live a normal life. 8 years later, he was fit enough to insist on playing tennis nearly every day. And that's when he launched his hostile takeover of Viacom. So he was a successful businessman, and then he got burned in a fire. Oh, wow. Well, how old is he now? 79, 89, 99, 09. That's
like
36 years ago. So he was what?
Like 56?
He was born in 1923.
Oh, my God. He was 56 years old. Okay.
Yeah. See, 56, he would have been still, like, he was at his prime then.
Wow. What the circumstances of the fire were?
Building
was
burned.
Just his room? No, was just his room though, or was he?
No, if he needed 30 hours of surgery, it had to be more than just his room.
His whole body must have got burned.
Yeah, his dick is burned. That's why he's got to pay people so much money to touch it.
I don't know.
But he's got to burn up penis.
Old Bobo dick.
Yeah, he's probably had some surgeries on it to put it back together. It says that the woman, I guess, who's suing or who brought this to the court. I don't know.
I'm going to say, is it Sidney Holland or is it Manuela Herzer?
Holland. She hinted that the filthy rich media titan's sexual predilections weren't exactly conventional, saying in the papers that there were many other acts committed by Redstone and uncomfortable requests he made of Sidney that will not be detailed here.
Good for him. Good for him. She racked up a fucking. They said he gave her money to pay off credit cards debts. $752,000 to an interior designer, $63,000 to a jeweler's, $58,000 to Saks. If someone pays your $58,000 Saks Fifth Avenue credit card bill,
right?
You eat his ass while he's doing whatever, while he's in a hospital bed. You fuck his friends. You do whatever he wants you to do.
People just think that shit is free. It's like if you're selling something, if it's a service, and somebody overpays you by a lot, then guess what? You better make sure it's done 100% right, or that's when they're going to not be so nice. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they're dropping millions on you just to make sure that all your debts are cleared and you're set for life, then there may be some costs that go along with that.
Yeah, strap on that special belt. Be a good egg. His daughter Shari must be embarrassed to see your father drag.
She knows.
But it's still embarrassing to have it in the paper. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants this stuff public. Especially when your father's in his 90s, you're going to get the lion's share of that money, or a lot of it. You don't want people knowing your father's got all these mistresses. It's embarrassing for the wife, the ex-wife. It's just embarrassing.
Just imagine how his grandson and his grandson's girlfriend feel.
Great. It's my grandfather. Someone loads all over your friend. What do you think of that? I would love my grandfather. My grandfathers are dead, but I would still love it if one of them was alive and he was coming all over my girlfriend's friends.
You'd like that?
Awesome. Because he's giving money to the grandson, too. Here's $100,000. Take her to the movies while I fuck our friend.
It says, like, one of the complaints was that Redstone was too controlling. That Sumner Redstone, that when Sidney, I guess, I think it was Sydney, was in a relationship with him that she would have to come home 7 days a week. She was expected to be home for lunch and dinner. She had to go to sleep whenever he went to sleep, whether she was tired or not. She had to do this. She had to do that. But it's like, yeah.
He doesn't want you fucking other guys.
What
Yes.
do you think all that money's for?
Yeah.
To not do, and she still fucked another guy.
Did she?
Yeah, that's why he wants all the money back. He wants to recoup the money that he was giving her, which is, better than his initial plan, which was to find the guy and burn his face with an iron.
Was it? Oh, that's from The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
It's funny. It's he wanted her to be like in a real relationship with him. He wanted to feel like lunch, dinner, bed. That's not even necessarily controlling. He just wanted you to pretend that you really loved being around him.
That's it. Just pretend that you guys have a healthy relationship. Don't bring up the money. It'll be there. You know what I mean? He's going to take care of everything.
Yeah.
But just, come home.
And go have dinner with him and go to bed at 9 o'clock if he wants to. I know you want to go out and do other stuff. You got a $58,000 Saks Fifth Avenue bill. Go have lunch with him.
Right.
Have lunch. That's not unreasonable of him to go, you're going to have lunch and dinner. You're going to basically be my girlfriend. But I'll give you $45 million or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty fair.
And worst case scenario, even if this becomes a lifetime, what's a lifetime for him at 93?
Yeah. 20 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
2 lunches?
You could be done tomorrow.
But then again, people are probably waiting for him to die for a long time, and he's just not.
Yeah.
When Mel was there, they kept waiting. When is Sumner leaving? When is Sumner leaving? It's not.
You're only as young as you feel. And when you're paying women a lot of money to have sex with them, you feel quite young.
I hope he was having sex. The grandson's daughter I want to know about. I mean, the grandson's
That's the best
girlfriend's
one,
friend.
isn't it?
Yeah.
The
Because
grandson's
he met her
girlfriend's
circumstantially and just said, fuck it, I want this girl.
Right. And it's somebody that's the age of your grandson's girlfriend. Just a young chippy.
What's that?
Okay. Let's go to Marcus in Philadelphia. What's up, Marcus?
Guys, this guy's living those kinks that you kind of have those conversations with your friends where you sit around and you're like, yo, would you let somebody shit on you for $1 million? This guy is he's doing that with these girls with a checkbook in hand, being like, let me shit on you. I will pay you $1 million. Those girls are living that out.
I hope he's not shitting on them. I mean, Jesus, even for $1 million, a Sumner Redstone shit is probably not pleasant at this point.
93-year-old dusty Redstone shit.
No, it's probably liquid. It probably smells like caviar and coffee.
You better believe you're taking it, though. You're taking that dump, though, James.
Yeah,
for
you
$1 million
sure.
bucks, you got to.
Yeah, you sure.
You got to. I think that's right. I think he's sitting there. First of all, I think he likes doling out checks to women.
I think you're right.
I think he likes to pay women. It's one of his things that he enjoys doing. And I'll bet he's got a whole bunch of weird shit that, you know what it's like. He likes the idea of finding women that normally wouldn't do this stuff and might have some reservations about it and seeing how he can get them to do it with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally, he sees a girl, he wants her. And he
probably sees all these like young muscular dudes around him, and he wants to be the guy who got them from the muscular dudes.
Yeah. Or just get them in general. The flight attendant he probably saw a couple of times. He was like, I gotta have her.
Right.
Because they sexy it up around him. Oh God, the billionaire. And he's the boss. He's on the plane.
Especially he's got a reputation. Are you kidding me? If I was a woman, I would do that.
For doling out cash?
He's got a reputation for doling out money. Yeah, if I'm his flight attendant, I'm going to make myself noticed.
And I bet it's an attitude that he likes too. Like, I bet it's like, maybe he likes the way a girl will like catch him looking at her legs and then not move her leg. Like, there's probably something you got to do besides just look good, because he can get whatever, when you're that rich, you get whatever you want. There's specific things that probably get him. I would love to know what his thing is.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be exploitive of it. I wouldn't even tell anybody. I would just love to know it.
He's got zero impulse control, though. Like, he's got no ability to see something that he wants and just want it. That thing that you have in you that allows you to just want something, he doesn't have that in him.
He's right.
When he sees something, because that's the way he's lived his life for so long. So even if it's another person, when he sees something, he's like, I want that. I don't like this feeling of wanting something that I don't have. That's mine now.
And then get rid of it, yeah. But I wonder what it took to land him. Like, what does it take when you're a woman to land Sumner Redstone and get him addicted to you?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably some of them that he would pay, just quickly hang out with, and that'd be it. Or that he would get too easily. Like, was there a certain amount of resistance you had to show before he got so interested that he gave you anything?
Right, like if you show up and are just obviously after it, he's probably not interested.
Yeah, like if he, maybe you get a crispy 20, a crispy 50. Here's a tenner.
It said that short-lived affair. He booted her, this woman, from his Beverly Park mansion. Now Holland wants a reasonable sum of money per month for her and her daughter, plus an amendment to his personal trust, reinstating her as a beneficiary.
Ugh.
It's like,
Take the money and leave.
just go. Just take what you've gotten already and go. Why would you think that you're entitled to that?
Because people get greedy, or they believe the things he says when he's horny. He's like, I love you.
Right.
You know?
And he did. He would write her stuff like that, like, I will always take care of you. You're always going to be fine, blah, blah, blah.
Not legally binding.
No.
When your dick is hard, anything you say has an asterisk next to it. Where's he at? Where is? Oh, in Vegas. You know what a fucking nice Vegas suite? And what year? 1998. Wow. Sumner Redstone must have had a nice place in Vegas in 1998.
It looks like the fucking. Is he sitting in the
the Enterprise.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's so funny. Looks like the Star Wars ship, or Star Trek ship.
The Enterprise.
Yeah. Let's go to John in Manhattan. What's up, John?
Hey, Sammy. How are you, sir? Bobby Lee's New York friend.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, brother? Jamey, what's better, having an enormous cock or billions of dollars to throw at bitches?
I have both.
Well played, sir. Touche. Have a good day.
What's better? I got to be honest, probably the money, because the cock, a lot of people don't know. Oh, here's what it was. At 85, he went back on the dating scene.
Oh, so he was single again.
He was single again, but he was married for so many years. He probably fucked around a lot. I mean, you have to assume.
You have to assume.
But once he was done, he probably went bananas at 85. Like, I don't know how much time left. It's like you know that you're going to die, and you're running through a candy store.
Right. And he's worried about nothing. He's not worried about anything fucking his life up anymore, because he goes, I don't know how much time I've got left on the planet. 85, he's back on the dating scene. It says, in October 2008, Redstone announced his divorce. The prenup agreement reportedly limited Paula's settlement to $1 million for each year of marriage. But Redstone was more generous than required. In late 2008, he bought her a $4 million home in Beverly Hills and a $2.6 million condominium in Florida for years to come. He would have his driver deliver dinner to his ex-wife's home every night. He's just an old romantic. He just wants a companion, and he would like it if that companion were young and nubile.
Yeah, he probably didn't want it. That kind of money. That's like literally me being with a girl and then going, I'm kind of done with her because she's older and I'm older.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost me, they said for 11 cents a day, I could get her a couple of houses and have stuff delivered. I'll pay 11 cents a day.
Yeah.
That's what that feels like.
Right. Yeah, I'll just throw this at her because it'll mean, and I love too that he signed that prenup, because $1 million a year for each year of marriage for them is nothing.
How many years are they married?
I don't know, but even if, regardless, every year that they were married, you have to imagine, let's see. Does it say how long they were married for? Let me go to Wikipedia. It was his second wife.
Oh,
though.
wait, and they
were married in 2003, it says.
Okay, so she got like $5 million and he took care of her.
$5 million bucks. Yeah. I would hope that if you marry Sumner Redstone, you leave with more than $5 million bucks.
But she married him when he was already Sumner Redstone.
Exactly.
The first one, the one who was older, she probably got a lot, because when you marry the guy when he's my God, he was married from 1947 to 1999. She got money.
She got a lot of money.
She got a lot of money. The other one walked in when he was that much older. People know what you're doing. Just take the money and hush now.
Plus, they had 2 kids.
Hush now. Well, they were adults by the time they divorced. Doesn't matter. But the kids only matter when you're younger.
Oh, right.
But if you get married to somebody younger, they $1 million a year, you hush now. Travis,
you just wanted to say it again.
Yes, I did.
Yes, James.
How are you?
I'm fine. I was just thinking about once the kids are grown up, you can just leave.
Yeah,
you can, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Just a thought that was in your head.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything anymore. Your obligation is over.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Tef dog knows.
He knows.
Oof, 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 oof.
Oh, Ray in Queens. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello, Ray.
Hey, I don't know if you guys heard of this website called Tag the Sponsor.
Basically, what it is it outs like these Instagram models. So these guys create accounts pretending like they're princes in Dubai, and then they offer these chicks like $50,000 to come to Dubai and do like heinous shit.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Why would they out that? That's fucking. That's kind of annoying. Tag the sponsor.
That they would out it?
Yeah,
'cause it's interesting.
Interesting is one thing, but that's just shitty. That's
guess.
shitty. Sumner Redstone filed a legal action, so it's kind of out there.
Yeah.
But, you know, and again, he's 93 and he doesn't seem to give a fuck, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
But some Instagram model that thinks the guy's going to give her $50,000 to put fucking, you know, put a roll of dimes in her ass. Come on.
It's a little depressing, though, to know that even when you get to that age that Sumner Redstone is at, even when you have that much money, you're still just going to want young, good-looking women. You know what I mean? It just never goes away.
Does that make you hopeful? Doesn't that make you hopeful?
No, because they become very, very difficult to get when you're an old man.
No, but you know, he didn't have to spend the kind of money he spent. Because Sydney Holland's a pretty woman, but that was like a girlfriend. You don't need to spend $6 million to get a hot young girl.
But if you're an old man who's not a billionaire, you're not getting a hot young girl.
No, you're not. No.
That's why it's depressing.
Yeah, but you can spend a decent amount of money and get a hot young girl if you're an old guy.
Because I don't think I'm going to be Sumner Redstone when I'm an old guy.
Why not?
I don't think I'm going to have that kind of dough. I don't think I'm going to have that kind of scratch.
Because you're already unattractive.
Thank you for mentioning that. That's the worst part of Sumner Redstone.
You're Sumner 2 months after fire.
That's terrible. All the scarring was fresh.
I would love to interview that guy.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
Fucking amazing that he survived that. It's almost like this.
You want to talk to me about the fire?
Yeah, more than anything. That's like
what?
Because you have this amazing life. I'm sure you had a lot of money. You're 56 years old, and then all of a sudden you're burned. Like,
yeah, that's fine. Like, how was the fire?
His wife stuck with him.
How was the fire? It was hot. Let's get to the $18 million that you gave to a flight attendant. What'd you get for it? That's what I want to know.
Look, I probably would have left the fire to chat quickly. He's forced MTV execs to give one girl he liked a reality show.
Yeah.
Good. He's Sumner Redstone. He probably just said, I want, and they're probably like, you know, she's not that good. I'd like her to have a reality. Maybe I didn't make myself clear.
Right.
He was fucking this girl. And he wanted her to have a reality show.
I think she should have a show.
Maybe he wanted to fuck her.
Right. Okay, whatever you say, Mr. Redstone. Whatever you say.
Good for him.
I love it.
That's the beauty. If you can't get some young girl a reality show when you're Sumner Redstone, what good is it being Sumner Redstone?
That's right. That's 100% right. That's how you know.
But word had come. The executives had desperately wanted to not to take the meeting, but word came from the top. They had no choice.
Good.
No choice.
Let them know. That's why you're the guy that you are.
Mr. Redstone, yep. Special liking to the leader of this group. Statue has 29-year-old platinum blonde named Heather Naylor.
Oh, and
Naylor, of course. He probably didn't know it was her last name. He just thought that was what he wanted to do. Oh, Jim.
And, you know, who would have thought it would be the success that it really became? We all remember the great show, The Electric Barbarellas.
Heather Naylor. I'd love to. No, you're not understanding. Her name's Heather Naylor. I'd love to.
Scroll down. Let's see her.
They're talking to Holland. They're going to Dowman. I think his name is Philippe Dowman. He was like I guess the chief operating executive, whatever he was. I don't know who runs corporation, but he was under CEO. And they all protested vehemently. I guess they really didn't like her.
And he was like, it doesn't matter. I'm Sumner Redstone.
You don't understand. Mr. Redstone would like her to have a show. It was brought back for a second season and retooled, but MTV execs were finally allowed to put it out of its misery. You know how bad it has to be when, or you know what it was? Maybe she wasn't down to fuck Sumner.
Isn't that great to know, though, when you're watching television shows and you're going, how the fuck did this get on the air? This is the worst show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
How did this get on the air? There is a possibility that the billionaire in charge of the company just wants to have sex with one of the girls on it.
They said his response to the media leak about his meddling made the episode even more awkward. In 2010, there was some report revealed that Viacom's frisky chairman had strong-armed them into running the show about a sexy but talentless all-girl band. He left Gloria a lengthy voicemail demanding to know who had tipped the reporter off. You may be reluctant, but we have to get the name of that person who gave you the story. We're not going to kill him. We just want to talk to him. You will be rewarded and well protected. Gloria promptly wrote about the call and posted Redstone's voicemail. Viacom's PR chief responded that Redstone was acting on his own and that there's no investigation underway. Yeah, even they had to even leave him on his own. And then he probably said, leave me on my own. But I don't blame the reporter for doing that. Like, that's a stupid thing for him to do. You'll be rewarded. Like, you can't just call the press and say...
You have to report on that.
You have to.
That's now news.
Yeah.
Oh, good for Sumner, though.
Where his eccentric behavior needed to be managed. Research analysts wrote that he regarded Viacom's share price as suffering from 10% control discount because Redstone remained in charge. Suggested that if he were to go away, the company market value would jump to about maybe. They would jump by $2 billion.
If he were gone?
Yeah, he got mad at Tom Cruise for something.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember exactly what it was. But I mean, he's like, fuck him. You know, like, and they're like, Dad, don't do that. It's a bad move.
Well, you get to a point where you've been in charge for so long and you've been so successful and you make so much money that you feel like whatever decision you make is the right one. Nobody's more important than you. And you're not strategizing like you used to.
He survived prostate cancer. He was certain that he'd never die.
There you go. You really think that's letting everybody know that karma doesn't actually exist. You really think that Sumner Redstone has done enough good in his life that he deserves to have as many chances as he's had and all the money and all the women? You think it's because of good deeds? Because I would take a wild guess that Sumner Redstone is not known for doing overtly good deeds.
He's donated a lot of money.
I'm sure he's donated money, but every billionaire donates money.
By the way, they said
taxes.
He had special diet rich in antioxidants. This doctor, can you make it? I actually want to see that guy's book, The Screen the Oncologist, because those are supposed to like stop cancer anyway. But then they said when he was like 90 or whatever, or when was it? In
90, I think.
Starting 2009, Redstone welcomed a string of decades younger women. Come on, man, how do you not? You got to let him. How do you not do that when you're him?
Yeah. It's not a bad life.
God.
It's complicated. He probably doesn't need all this kind of stress in his life, but he may not give a fuck.
I don't even know if he has stress. It's probably embarrassing for his family, but he's just like, ugh.
He's like, whatever. He still considers himself the most powerful man there is. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
CBS mogul. It's embarrassing to be on the front page of the paper, though, with your ex.
Speaking of powerful men, Donald Trump is announcing his Secretary of State today.
He already announced it on Twitter.
Yes.
I don't know if I like it. I don't know enough about the guy, but it's just a big business guy. It's like, ugh.
Why is that bad?
I don't know. Will the interest be for the goodwill of the people, the good of the people, or?
Oh, you mean because he's so used to being such a big corporate boss guy that he doesn't view people as individually important?
I think most of them don't. But
yeah.
I mean, when you're the CEO of Exxon, right? I mean,
yes. CEO of ExxonMobil.
I don't know if I want him making, decisions on that level.
I think that Donald is hoping that his legacy as president is all about business. So he's just trying to get the economy to go back up.
That might be it.
And I think that Trump is going to do everything in his power to make sure that the poor doesn't just continue to get poorer. I don't think it's just going to be good for rich people because there's a lot of poor people now.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, but the CEO of Exxon, I think would be more interested in just kind of serving the interests of that industry.
Yes, the oil industry.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if I want that environmental. Again.
Yeah, I mean, it's very backwards in the sense that the fact that we would be trying to maintain the oil industry now, as opposed to putting a lot of money into other technologies, is I don't think the brightest move in the world as far as the future goes. But for right now, I think he's just looking for a guy who will further the business thing. I don't know how. I thought Giuliani was going to get the spot. That's what they're saying right after Trump won, that he was going to give it to Giuliani.
I don't think he's getting anything.
You don't think Giuliani's going to get a thing?
No, he took himself out of the running.
Yeah.
To be in any cabinet position.
Why?
I wonder why.
Probably because of his foreign dealings, I assume. Probably because of business ventures that he's involved in.
Oh, there's things that you don't want public.
Yeah, and it would probably be a conflict of interest, and he probably values that more than a cabinet position.
Yeah.
I wonder if Trump is bummed out that Chris Christie turned him down for everything.
That's so funny.
I don't believe it for a second.
I don't either.
I don't believe it for a second. This was an article yesterday.
Well, they said he turned down cabinet positions, but they probably weren't good ones. Like, I don't want to be fat boy in the corner. That's not a position.
Chris Christie was passed over as a candidate to be Donald Trump's vice president, demoted as his transition chair, and whose preference to be the next Republican National Committee chair was rebuffed by the mogul. Claims to have turned down several offers to serve in the president-elect's cabinet. Christie, who after ending his own presidential bid in February became a loyal Trump surrogate, an advertiser before falling out of Trump's inner circle after he won. Sources told the publication that he turned down the offer to be the ambassador to Italy. Being the Italy's ambassador is very different than like a full-on cabinet position.
Yeah, I think so.
Like he's like, hey, Christy, how about we send you to Italy? No, Donald, I don't want to go.
Why wouldn't he? I mean, it's like you get to travel to Italy and fucking just eat Italian food, which he obviously likes. Like that's a pretty good gig.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was never offered that gig either.
Maybe.
I don't think Donald offered him a goddamn
No,
thing.
he's just telling. No, yeah, I turned down some stuff. I care more about New Jersey.
Now maybe he did offer him that though. The ambassador.
No, I think Donald Trump offered Chris Christie a bus ticket. That's what I think.
Jersey.
Yeah, right back to Jersey.
Stop sneaking in my photos. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Here's an iTunes gift card. Listen to some Bruce on the way home. That was what he did.
No,
Yeah.
because saying that you've turned down multiple positions is like what a loser says.
Of course it is. Yeah, you didn't hear about any of them. No, there were a ton of positions. You just didn't hear about any of them.
Yeah.
Weird. I never saw, I saw Mitt Romney going to dinner with Donald Trump. We heard about the conversations between Giuliani and Donald Trump. I never heard about any private dinners
Would you have taken him to dinner if you were Trump?
between Chris Christie and
That's
Donald
a big
Trump.
dinner. Get it? Him and Sumner would have to chip in for that one. What's that?
Yeah, I don't think Chris Christie was offered a goddamn thing. I don't think he was offered anything by Donald Trump. And I think his feelings got a little hurt. Chris has an ego. You could tell by the way he talks.
Yes, he does.
He wants to believe that he's got some power. But after his governorship is over, he's done. He's done. He's humiliated himself with Bridgegate and everything. That's his legacy. Chris Christie's legacy was first that he hugged Obama so Republicans decided they hated him. And now that he clogged up traffic on the GW that day.
I think it's just that he clogged up traffic. I don't think they cared that he worked with Obama, to be honest with you. He had to. He was getting funding for the state after a disaster.
I agree with you, but the Republicans looked down on him after that.
I don't know.
But yeah, you're right about the Bridgegate thing. That's what he's going to be remembered for.
Yeah. Someone died. Someone dies.
Yeah.
You're fucked. And that is a selfish cunt thing to do. And the people know, they're hanging on to it because they know the public hates it. They know that we hate traffic so much. And if we know that this big fat dunce had us sitting in traffic just to prove a point to someone, it's enraging.
He really is a selfish idiot.
Yeah, he is.
The fact that he'd run around on election night and try to just sneak his fat body into as many pictures as he could with Donald Trump is insane. Like, what are you thinking? You talk about a short-term thinker. You got a guy that if you just play it cool, keep to yourself, don't make it about you, play it cool, and you'll get a nice White House position.
Yeah.
But instead, he's got to get the glory right away. And that also explains why in that speech that Trump gave months ago while he was running for president, Chris Christie was standing directly behind Donald Trump in camera shot the entire time. It's because he wanted his camera time.
Yeah, he looked really stupid, too.
He looked really stupid.
He was not a bad-looking guy when he was young, Chris Christie. Young.
Well, he was much thinner.
Yeah, like he was an all-star ball player, I guess the Lancers. And he looked like you could tell by the mouth it's him. And he was much thinner.
He actually looks quite good in a baseball uniform, too.
Back then, yeah, now he doesn't.
No, I was talking about now. Look at him.
No, I don't know.
You don't think so?
His face is good when he pitches, though.
Chris Christie was not designed. His body was not designed to have his shirt tucked in if he's got no jacket on.
No.
Like, you just shouldn't see. Because, unfortunately for Chris, he doesn't have... how most of us, we can put a belt on under our belly button? Chris has that body where you have to pull your pants up on your stomach.
I like a belt under my belly button. Way under my belly button.
Way under.
Yeah, like my pants hang right at my hips.
That's so cool.
But I just don't like them any other way.
Yeah.
It is cool, but that's not why I do it.
But see, like a guy like Chris Christie can't do that because he's got to flap. He would have to flap his belly out over his pants, then it would stick out under his shirt.
He's pouring the small bag of M&Ms
into the big bag of M&Ms.
Yeah, stop it. I like a treat. I bet you one was peanut and one was regular, and he just wanted to. He liked the surprise of which came out in the handful.
Poor Chris Christie. He's probably at home watching this news that the guy from Exxon is going to be Secretary of State. Going, he's not going to do a good job. He's not going to do the job. Donald and I spoke about what Donald needs, and this guy is not going to be able to pull it off. I don't think. He's not the guy for the gig.
He's not meant to be a fat guy. Like if you're fat your whole life, it's one thing. But when you're a kid and you're playing baseball and you're an all-star ball player or whatever, and then you look great in a baseball uniform, and then you go up to be a big fat guy, that's just, you can't stop fucking eating.
You can't. Poor Chris Christie cannot. He just, and maybe it's partly, it could be part of his ego.
Did he have the surgery? I heard he had the surgery a few years ago.
Yeah.
He did? He had the surgery? And he's still eating?
Well, he didn't have I'm not hungry anymore surgery, so what are you going to do?
But it's supposedly, look at No Filter Paul lost a lot of weight, and I think it's like...
you have to be disciplined, though. Like Hard Rock Johnny lost a ton of weight, but he's disciplined. Like and
it takes out the hormone, I think, that makes you hungry.
He has a little walnut-sized stomach, and so he's not going to eat too much, and he's going to go exercise. Like people who are disciplined can have a successful surgery.
Yeah.
If you just keep eating and you don't exercise, that stomach, you'll be amazed at how it'll grow for you.
Yeah.
It's really incredible what the body will do.
Yeah. He loves walking along the tarmac, I bet, because it hides his bottom. He loves, there's a picture of him and Obama walking, and he has on black pants and a white shirt, so he blends into the tarmac pretty well. It's like, he literally blends right in. It looks like you can't even see how fat he is, because he's got Obama there. And,
yeah, but Obama's not the best guy to be walking next to him.
Yeah, so he is slender.
Obama's a slender, athletic guy, and he manages to also find time to be the president of the United States. If the governor of Jersey can't find some time to go on a diet and hit the gym, I don't know. Chris Christie is better off walking around with Trump.
You think he had time to go to the gym and he just didn't?
Chris, yeah. Well, he likes his downtime. He likes to enjoy a little bit of downtime. That's him. You know?
How hard is it when you're getting food for free all the time? Everywhere you go, oh, Mr. Governor, we've sent over some cheesecake from, whatever the place is, Morty's fucking cheesecake shithouse, whatever they call it.
You don't think M&M's sent a truckload of M&Ms to his campaign headquarters or whatever, to his office, after they saw him pouring that little bag into the big bag?
Is that true, by the way? That he spent $300,000 on food and booze?
It was reported by a bunch of them.
He's hungry.
Did that fat fuck spend that much on dinners and stuff for other people?
His expense account.
No, I know he'll say he has to take other people out, but
he used to have groceries. I remember reading an article that he used to have a disgusting amount of groceries delivered to his house.
Well, he's got a big belly. Yeah. That's where all the food goes.
He received $95,000 for purposes vaguely defined in the state budget for official purposes like state receptions, operating an official residence. I guess you got to do a certain amount of that a year.
$300,000 over 5 years.
No, 95. Over 5 years? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, those are a year. Okay,
it's still a lot of money.
That's $60,000 a year. That's not as great. It's $5,000 a month. That's not as he spent $76,000 during 53 shopping runs at Wegmans. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
Yeah, but Wegmans is good.
Wegmans is good. They have all kinds of treats there.
Oh yeah.
How many shopping carts do you think Chris Christie needs?
Yeah. He's like Sumner Redstone, but with food.
Yeah, he is.
But does that include food for the governor's mansion, like when you're hosting dinners and parties and events? Does that all fall into that budget?
No, that's got to be like dinners and stuff. I can't imagine that catering an entire governor's mansion party falls under that budget.
And if it also includes like liquor and stuff, that adds up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that might be fairly legit. Maybe it might be high, but not as high as it sounds.
Let's go to Mike in Philly. What's up, Mike?
Philly Mike. We got to start giving nicknames to people that are jazzy.
Oh, I think just Mike is fine.
Philly Mike.
Okay.
Cheesesteaking.
Yeah.
What's up, Jersey Jim? No, so you guys are right. What No Filter Paul and Hard Rock Johnny had, they say stomach stapling, but they have a gastric sleeve, which you do reduce and lose a lot of weight. But all Chris Christie did was have a band put on, which is pretty much in the bariatric community, a lap band. Hasn't really been performed as frequently, and it's been considered not effective. So he got that 2 years ago in preparation to lose weight and be skinny to be the president, and pretty much chose the easy way out and got this surgery that doesn't work as well. So that's what happened.
Okay.
All right, buddy. I'm looking at his wedding photos. His wife must be so bummed. He wasn't this fat when she married him.
Yeah, he put weight on.
He put a lot of weight on. He's got to be depressed now, man.
Sure.
That's a tough... Because none of us thought he would ever be president, but I'll bet in his head, I don't think you run for president unless you think you can win. And I think especially somebody like Chris Christie really thought that he was going to win.
Yeah, of course.
And he didn't come close.
Now you get smeared.
He dropped out early. Then he goes, okay, well, if you can't beat him, join him. And he was the first guy right alongside with Donald Trump.
What was he doing before he was... How many years was he governor in New Jersey? And what was he doing before?
For a long time.
I know that he was a freeholder, then he was a...
Freeholder?
He was a...
Freeloader.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, Donald Trump's party.
He was a lawyer.
He's a U.S. attorney. then he was the governor of New Jersey. He was probably a district attorney before he was the governor.
Okay.
Which I could see him being an attorney. He would probably be very good in a courtroom.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he probably is a great lawyer.
Yeah, I think so. He seems like a great arguer.
Jovial, likable.
But then gets mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Has the ability to alpha male. But then he starts like joining up with Trump, the first guy to do it, being like, you know what? This is the guy we got to get behind, and he was right. He was right. Trump was the guy to get behind. And then he wins. And then as soon as Trump wins, he's like, goodbye, Chris.
Yep.
Goodbye. Ben Carson has a gig. Ben Carson has a gig.
As what?
He's the HUD, Housing and Urban Development.
Oh.
He's in charge of housing and urban development, which a lot of people are a little confused by. But still, point is he got a gig.
Good for Ben.
Carly's getting a gig.
Carly Fiorina is getting a gig.
It's true.
All Trump did was stand up on stage and talk about what a terrible businesswoman Carly Fiorina was. You remember when he talked about how many companies she put out of business?
Yeah, and he said, look at her, who would want to vote for her?
He said that she doesn't have a very presidential face, I believe.
And wait, did he humiliate Mitt Romney or no?
He didn't humiliate him, no. He took him out to dinner, but then I believe that Mitt, before this announcement was made, said, I'm not in the running anymore. You know, I think Mitt, if anything, tried to humiliate Donald.
Yeah, I think that's where the anger was going to come from like Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Because Mitt, tried to lead a charge for Republicans to not vote for him.
Mitt was the first big Republican to say we're going to try to rally against him.
He held a press conference.
Yeah. I mean, he's just cocky because he keeps everyone's hands warm.
Mitt. Thank you. Yeah, and I would assume that Donald met with... It was bad.
It was bad.
Really bad.
I geared up for that one, too.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
You're proud of it?
Not in hindsight.
I'll bet Donald met with Mitt to be like, just to see, but then quickly realized that the people who voted for him would be too pissed off if he brought Mitt on. And that Mitt was not a team player necessarily.
Well, maybe Mitt just didn't want to do it. Maybe they just talked... And Mitt said, no, it's just not what I want to do.
Maybe true. Maybe that too. Who knows?
He called them, and maybe Mitt's like, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's going to be the guy who is in charge of ExxonMobil is going to be our Secretary of State going forward after January. Andy in Florida. What's up, Andy?
Yeah, Chris Christie. I just cannot mentally separate him from The Sopranos, from Bobby Bacala. He looks just like that big fat fuck.
He really does. He really does, and they're both Jersey guys. Nick in St. Louis.
Yeah, you're forgetting that Christie put away Trump's son-in-law's father in prison.
Yeah, he did that too.
So that's probably why he's not getting anything.
Oh, that's a great point.
Him around.
Yeah, Bobby Bacala, best
lot.
scene in The Sopranos. One of the best scenes in The Sopranos. Him looking for a blue train.
There's so many good Bobby Bacala scenes. Like
that one, I mean, was a great.
His last scene.
Yeah.
I like when he walks in because they're going out to the woods, and he walks in camo and bright orange, and Junior and Tony just start laughing at him, and he just leaves in a huff because he's tired of getting poked and made fun of because he makes poor decisions about what he wears.
I think he had a big dildo sticking out that day. He said, because Gandolfini said, don't tell me what you're going to do, but you got to make me laugh. He really wanted to make him laugh because when Gandolfini was being filmed, so he walked in, he did something outrageous. He asked him if they had like a giant fake dick or something.
So it was off camera.
He was off camera,
yeah.
But Gandolfini's reaction was on camera.
Oh man,
that train scene is so good. Bobby,
it's so good.
He was such a great. No one saw his role built so much.
Yeah.
Over the years, from just like a little occasional show up, and then he became one of the main guys. He was great.
So funny.
Steve Sciarippa.
Yeah.
He worked at the fucking at the hotel in Vegas for years. I heard his name years before The Sopranos.
He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got relationships with a ton of comedians from working that
I never
room.
knew him from that. I never knew him. I forget what this. I wish I could remember the name of the hotel is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! Can you look up Steve Sciarippa? I feel like an asshole. I don't remember.
Did you watch the interview that Trump did with Christopher Wallace on Sunday?
No.
People are criticizing him for a bunch of different things. They're criticizing him for not wanting to do meetings every day.
Right.
Like, because he's saying that the president is supposed to get briefed every day. He's supposed to go to a briefing meeting, and he lets everybody know what's going on. And Trump says he's not going to those. People can tell him something once, and then let him know if it changes. But he doesn't need to hear the same thing every day.
I mean, he probably went to a couple and he realized this is the same nonsense.
To know that nothing's changed. But it's amazing that, like with the meetings, with the way he's handling foreign people, foreign leaders, with all this stuff, that nobody's giving him a chance. Like, he's not president yet.
No.
Like, before we can label him as a colossal fuck-up, why don't we just allow him to fuck up a little bit?
Because people don't like him to begin with, comedy, and they don't like him, and they don't want to like him, so they're not going to give him a chance. And everything he does, they're going to see as see, look what he's doing. He's a piece of shit.
We knew he was going to do this from the beginning.
Yeah,
but it's also the way he says things. Like, you can't say no. I don't want to do daily intelligence briefings because I'm like a smart person.
Because I'm like a smart person. Well, yeah, because he's putting down the way we've done things forever.
Well,
right?
He probably doesn't like the boring redundancy of the same guy telling him the same thing. He's probably telling me, "Don't tell me the same thing you told me yesterday if it hasn't changed,"
which is fine.
Yeah,
right.
Like, there have been president-elects in the past who've not done that.
But what he's saying in his statement is that if you do that, you're stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that setup is for people that are dumb, and since I'm smart, I don't need it.
So I think that's where the criticism's coming from.
Okay.
When you say because I'm like a smart person.
Well, it's like
he was using like as a pause because I'm like a smart person. He wasn't saying I'm
even
like
without the like.
Smart person.
Even if he said because I'm a smart person, the implication is that if, for instance, President Obama goes to meetings where he gets briefed every day, he is not a smart person.
Yeah, Obama's a different thing though. He talks differently. He's a politician. He knows better than to say that.
No, yeah.
He knows how stupid that sounds.
But there is a lot of stupid stuff that happens. That's why one of the reasons why Trump got elected. Is because there is a lot of stupid stuff that happens, and there is a lot of unnecessary stuff that happens, and I enjoy that he's calling out. Like, if he sees something as stupid or unnecessary, he's not really good at hiding the fact that he finds it stupid or unnecessary.
No, he's not. And he also, the people who like him don't give a fuck that he says this stuff. This is never going to sway them. So the fact that people keep harping on it, and when you look at some people's Twitter, it's like, Jesus, I get it.
Yeah.
It's endless.
Right. Take a breath. Like, anybody who didn't want Trump to win, it's fine.
Yeah.
We need to take a breath, take a step back, let it happen, because it's going to happen. Like, stop fighting against the current, let it happen, and then make the call once it's there, right? Like, once it happens, then you start being like, this is the wrong move for this is the wrong move for that. But there's nothing happening right now to criticize.
Yeah, it's really, some people are really going off the deep end, and it's fun to watch the obsession with him. The obsession with being heard. Like, I'll say this one thing and everybody will get it. People hear you. You're not swaying anybody.
Yeah, they heard you before.
All you're doing is making the same points to people. I'm talking to myself right now. You're just making the same points. No one is changing their mind.
No.
Not one thing you're saying is resonating and making people change their minds. Stop trying to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. They're going around, and it's everything. It's the intel briefings. It's the Taiwan call. It's all this stuff.
Not believing the CIA.
Right.
What did he believe the CIA about?
That the Russians meddled in the election.
Didn't the FBI say that that there was nothing there?
No, the CIA came out a couple days ago and said, we're pretty sure they did. They didn't hack the election, but they meddled in it to try to get Trump to win. Is what they're saying.
What we really don't like when that happens to us, do we?
No, yeah, and you know what? It's weird because we've definitely never done that.
It's funny how we've done nothing. We've done nothing but stick our noses in the rest of the world's business.
Yeah, we've never tried to, persuade the outcome of an election.
Puppet dictator. We have done nothing but stick our dicks in everybody else's fucking living room. And the second it's suspected, we fucking cry. Good. You know what? Good. I hope they did. Maybe we'll stop fucking minding everybody's business now.
They're looking for...
And now people are going to go, Jimmy's stupid. No. You can't do that shit all over the world and then fucking cry when it happens to you. It's
especially because the ones that we did it for, we really manipulated elections.
Of course.
Like Donald Trump did not win the election because of Russia. They didn't manipulate it. They might have been trying to, But he won because he won by the rules that we put in place. Like, that's how he won the election. It wasn't because of Russia hacking anything.
Absolutely not. Because Hillary still got the popular vote.
Right.
And by the way, people have been influencing foreign leaders have been, I'm sure, influencing. Like, you tell me Saudi Arabia has never had any influence on anything in this country. The amount of money they throw around, especially, stop it.
Right.
Fucking stop it.
I mean, I saw a thing that, like, they were like, well, you know, Russia was behind a lot of the fake news that was coming out. I love that the fake news is now the reason that Donald Trump is doing so well.
Yeah.
Like, all these things that nobody brought up when it was actually happening.
And they never minded the fucking real news when it was 100% biased in one direction.
Exactly. That's the funnest thing to watch.
Up.
Like, I was watching Anderson Cooper last night.
Oh, me too.
I don't think we were watching for the same reason.
You're very dishy. Did he have the suit on that I love?
I don't know what suit is that one. I was watching it for information. But he had a guy on who writes fake news. It just said I write fake news articles.
Great.
But he was saying that it was like, I think it was jokes. Like, he writes like purposely fake news articles. Not that are intending to mislead people. But he immediately, and that's why the mainstream media doesn't really have a leg to stand on as they report on fake news.
Zero leg to stand on.
Because he's like, you guys have an agenda. What are you talking about? You guys have an agenda.
Yeah, how about this? The people complaining about the fake news?
Yeah.
Hey, at least the fake news isn't putting fucking shooters on the front page and giving them what they want.
Right.
I have more respect for the fake news. Like, we know that that's kind of shitty, but at least they're not actually contributing to shootings by helping make shooters famous.
And
fucking
really,
assholes. Shut up.
To label it fake news is only to give them more
credibility for the real news.
Yeah, labeling that group fake news only makes people more loyal to it because you see right through it.
Yeah.
Like, the reason that the mainstream media is calling those sites fake news is because they don't want anybody to believe anything that comes from anywhere except television or newspapers. Like, that's where they want people to get their information from. So everything else is fake news.
Yeah, and like, look, nobody wants to be the subject of fake. Like, if somebody says anything that's slanderous or libelous of you, whatever, I got to learn which word is which, spoken, which is written. Then you sue them. Like, people are like, well, yeah, but you wouldn't want shit written about you. Well, yeah, people come out and say stuff about you that's not true, and they're putting it as a statement of fact. You fucking file a lawsuit,
right?
And you've hurt them that way.
Or if it's pure speculation and you can't sue them, you just come forward and say, hey, this article's out there. It's bullshit.
Yeah. And
you move forward.
And Denzel did not destroy the mainstream media. He made a great point.
He made a great point.
He didn't destroy them.
Well, he's pretty combative. He was kind of throwing it directly back at that reporter. You see, he was on the red carpet for Fences, his movie that he directed and he's starring in.
Is it good? Or is it getting good reviews or no?
I haven't read any reviews. But it's fucking Denzel. He's the man. You like Denzel Washington?
I've liked Denzel Washington.
He's the greatest.
What was his movie with George Siegel?
I don't know.
Mr. Charlie?
I don't know.
Before, I think his teeth were bigger then. I don't know if he had his teeth done since then. If I remember right as a kid.
What was the movie?
I'm not telling you. Don't look it up. Don't tell him.
Why don't you just say what it is?
Because I like having secrets. Carbon copy. He discovers...
It got 88%, by the way.
That his father, I think, is George Siegel, who's a white man who is having sex with his mother, and his mother dies. And then he meets Mr. Charlie, who is George Siegel. I don't know what year that. I'm going to guess that's... Let me guess. 86.
It's 81.
Is it? Wow.
81. You're bringing up Denzel movies from 81?
Well, I believe it was his first film, no?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't I bring it up? You asked me if I liked him. I'm saying I've liked him since then.
Oh, I see.
I've liked Denzel for 30-something years.
Feature film debut.
There it is. All right, let's
George Siegel dead, by the way?
Hopefully.
No, he was funny, man.
He's got to be at this point.
No, he's alive.
82.
He was a funny fucking... George Siegel was very funny.
Okay.
You know who he is?
George Siegel? No. Yeah. I mean, I've heard his name, I guess, before, but no. No. I'm not familiar with his work.
He was an actor and a musician.
Well, all right. Obviously, he didn't resonate that much.
Denzel's been active for 35 years.
See, Denzel's the fucking man. George Siegel isn't.
Back then he was.
Yeah, but he didn't resonate.
Sure he did. He was older. He already had a Denzel-like career. He just was never a sex symbol.
But his work hasn't resonated, I'm saying. Like, it doesn't carry over.
He's been in a lot of movies that probably are still popular. But he was never the actor Denzel is.
Right, exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Denzel's going to be the man for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's hear what he said about the mainstream media at the Fences premiere.
Fake news. You were the subject of a fake news story.
Oh yeah, what they say? I was running for president. No, I voted. No, what they say?
You switched your support.
I switched. Yeah.
What do you make of all the fake news and it affects
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
What do you do?
That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it. Sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
You told me last
Okay.
I'd say that was pretty.
That was combative. Yeah,
pretty heavy-handed.
He was combative, and I don't know who the reporter was though. Was she like an Entertainment Tonight reporter, or was she like a legit media reporter?
Don't know. Didn't see the mic.
I saw an interview with him where he was really kind of shitty to some interviewer. Mm-hmm. Who was really being nice to him. He was a real dick in this interview. She was mentioning his past work. I think we talked about it one time, and he was being combative. Oh, you just want to talk about the past, but she wasn't being an asshole to him. She wasn't. She was really trying to be nice.
Right.
And he was just being an absolute asshole. He seems like he's an asshole, and I hate to say that because I love him, and I've only seen him in person one time, and I didn't.
I like that he did that.
That I liked a lot.
Yeah.
That I liked a lot. But I mean, judging by this other one, it just seems like he's...
I don't know. I've never seen that one. I don't know when it was. But I like... and you can't judge him for one interview that he was shitty on.
No, that's what I'm saying with this.
That's what I mean. Like the one interview that you saw
before that, yeah,
where he was shitty. Like he wasn't shitty at this interview. He was just like telling the truth about the media.
No, but the last one, sometimes you watch something... And you're like, yeah, she was an Australian lady. And when you watch someone being completely shitty to someone who's interviewing him and being really polite to him, you could say, yeah, he's probably shitty. He's probably like that.
Props. The train is the star.
He wasn't horrible. He was just...
Makes me think
he didn't seem like a nice guy.
I think this is it.
Yeah.
I hear you.
It's obviously edited, by the way.
But while the train may be unstoppable, getting the interview started almost impossible.
Not even a great movie.
How did you feel about climbing all over a moving train?
You got used to it.
You've had some amazing co-stars. Who stands out, do you think, when you look back as some of the great talents?
I don't look back. For what?
So what do you look to? Is there anybody that you're keen to work on? What do you still want to achieve?
Well, I want to have a good day today.
He's just being a jerk off.
Take it one day at a time.
One of your quotes is, acting as a way of making a living. Family is life. I guess that's something that you never lose sight of.
Well, what I said, as I remember it, many moons ago, was that when acting was my life, when I was young, you're young, oh, it's all I see, acting's my life. But when my first child was born, my son who's 26 now, I realized, wait a minute, no, this is life. Acting's amazing.
He does it to her again where she's like, oh, you just want to keep going back to the... He's just being a dick at that point. When someone says to you, hey, who are some great co-stars? It's not the greatest question, but it doesn't deserve a rudeness.
It's also like, again, I don't know if you could, based on one interview at one of those fucking junkets where he's doing 150 interviews in one sitting. Like you could have this moment where you're just in a bad mood about something.
You can, but... Sometimes people do things and you're like, oh yeah, that's who that guy is.
Plus, I feel like Denzel's probably out of his mind. Like he always seems like crazy when he does interviews, which I like. I don't mind it.
I don't know if he's crazy. I've never seen. I haven't seen enough of his interviews to be honest.
I mean, he's always kind of off, just a little off, and like his eyes are a little wild, and he strikes me as a crazy person.
Maybe that makes him a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. He always seems like he's a moment from snapping. Yeah, maybe he does. Maybe he is.
Right. He's very emotional, and you're supposed to be if you're an actor, right? But
yeah, I guess.
But I don't know. I guess
he just doesn't seem like. I guess I've seen him in other interviews. He just doesn't seem like a fun guy to talk to. I would love to talk to him.
Would you?
Of course.
Would you talk to him about fucking what's his name? The 82-year-old dude.
Sumner?
No. The guy we were talking
George Siegel? I bet he'd be loved. Yeah.
He probably would enjoy that.
How was George Siegel? I mean, either he'd be like this. Like, I'm guessing he was great. Unless George Siegel wasn't nice to him. But I imagine the guy who starred in your first film, if he was nice to you, you'd be fond of.
But you'll find, like, it's the same thing with Billy Bob Thornton. Like, Billy Bob Thornton was as big a cocksucker as you've ever seen in that Canadian interview that we talked about with him.
Sure.
But it was because he said of circumstances around him on that day and the way the interview was handled.
That's true.
That we didn't see. And when he came in here,
he was great.
He was awesome.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's like a heavily edited interview that we're watching. Heavily.
Okay.
Edited.
Let's look for find another Denzel. Google Denzel Washington rude.
Google Denzel Washington is a piece of garbage.
That's a
of
little
shit.
specific.
You think so?
Yeah, rude. Just how about rude?
You didn't know he was actually going to do it. Adrian actually started writing in piece of.
The equalizer.
Okay. All right. Let's see this one.
Thanks for ruining every single trip to a sort of a Home Depot.
It's my pleasure. That's what I'm here for.
I can't go into them.
Are you a handyman?
Do I look like a handyman? Come on. I'm terrible going into them, but now it's awful. Okay. Do you get that as well? Can you go in without looking at that hammer and think, who am I going to take out?
No, I don't do that. I mean, it's a movie, and I made it, so, you know, it doesn't bother me. No.
Seriously, the DIY store, it's the perfect setting for this kind of guy with a dark past, because mundane seems to suit him, to suit how he's dealing with his problems in his life. Is that something you wanted to get over, the fact that he's an everyman, but with these amazing skills?
Well, I guess, but really the kernel of it was what's wrong with him. You know, you start working on a character, and a lot of, you know, I
don't see his whole. Maybe you can just listen to Adrian to see if he
used to do.
Because sometimes the guy getting angry, the interviewer might just be a dick.
You didn't want to do a straight action movie. Is this your James Bond, do you think, this role? Has it got franchise potential?
I don't think of movies that way.
Well, you don't, because you've never done a sequel, have you?
Yeah.
We know that.
And there we have it, huh?
Is this the one, though, that might break that?
See?
There were other ones that...
That's a cocksucker question.
Yeah, I've been...
No, he wasn't trying to be combative, but Denzel's being fine here. He's being cool.
But if I were asked that, if he was like, well, yeah, you don't know because you haven't done one, I'd be like, what?
Well, he hasn't. So he wasn't saying it like oh, maybe. The way Denzel responded, he wasn't being a dick to me.
I would take it as a shot.
Oh, no. Denzel could do a sequel. Malcolm X probably wouldn't be a sequel to.
You don't think so?
That wouldn't do very well.
Yeah, I would take it as a shot because he's saying you've done a lot of action movies, but none of them are franchise. And Denzel's not turning down an action franchise because he's done action movies.
I don't know. I didn't read it like that.
Yeah, I think he seems fine.
Yeah, he does.
He seems like a fine man.
And that one he does. Yeah, he's not getting angry.
No. Well, listen. I guess Trump's going to give his speech or whatever.
I don't need to hear his speech.
Me neither. He announced it on Twitter. You know? Like, they said there's going to be some speech where he's going to announce his Secretary of State today, and then I'm on the train this morning, and he just put it out on Twitter.
Kenny texted me, by the way. Thank you, Kenny. Riviera Hotel. That was, and Adrian Burlow before. That was...
Now we know.
I think that hotel's gone, though. They shot, I want to say they shot some of Casino in that.
Did they blow it up like they do?
I'm imagining they imploded it. Yeah, I think so.
That's cool.
2015, right? Wow, I want to see the implosion. Yeah, Rich Voss used to all these comedians I knew. I think Otto used to work there, and Penn and Teller would go to see him when he was there. I never. I walked through it a bunch of times when I would open with For Dice. I'd go to the Riviera, but I never performed there. I want to see the implosion.
There it is. The fireworks are all going off. It's a celebration.
They're celebrating and saying goodbye.
We're going to blow up a building.
To all of the people whose homes were lost in that hotel. This is an homage.
Enjoy the festivities. Okay, still more fireworks. When is the building going down?
I don't know. Maybe this isn't it.
It says implosion.
I know, but they're just pretending.
You think it might be a hoax?
I make a pretend. Oh, there it is. Go on now. Oh, where is it? We're watching. Wow, this is not good radio.
Oh, my God. What a terrible angle this guy got.
Well, they probably
There's a big building blocking it.
They probably make you stand far away.
Then don't film it. What an asshole.
I wonder if those hotel rooms, people could probably see it in their hotel rooms, right?
No, the hotel rooms got blown up, too.
Other hotels.
No.
Yeah, I don't think, would they let you stay in the hotel and film it on the way down?
Yeah, exactly.
That shit would be wild.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
We have Jamey Jasta coming in today. And Dave Attell is also coming in today.
Yeah, tell Dave he can come in earlier. He was coming in at 10, but we'd love to have Dave earlier.
Yeah, I think that might have been his call. I don't know.
I'm sure it was.
I don't know, but is Jamey Jasta here?
I don't think so, no.
Well, tell me he's not welcome then.
All right.
Tell him he's not welcome. Should we take a break?
Yeah, if the food ever gets here.
Where's the food
coming?
Where is Jim's breakfast?
Oh, no. Sick baby's been gone for like 30 minutes. At least. Oh.
I hear the phone ringing.
Hang on.
Yeah, let's see who it is. Let's see who's on the breakfast line.
Okay.
The Tef box is getting answers. The Travis dog is getting answers.
Oh.
Just gets gayer and gayer. Jamey's here and the food's on its way.
Oh, my God. Oh, there's Sick Baby coming up with the food right now. I wonder if he's wearing his hoodie.
No, he's not. You know why?
Where's
Why?
his hoodie?
Because he took it off because he's got a hardcore shirt underneath.
Are you fucking kidding me? What a poser.
What a fucking poser.
What a fucking poser he
What
is.
a poser.
He's wearing
He is.
a Bane shirt, and that's a hardcore band.
It is?
Yes.
I didn't know what that was. What a total poser.
You know what he is? He's
What?
a weenie.
He is a weenie.
Thank you. What a weenie.
He is. He's a total wiener breath.
What a fucking weenie.
A big dork.
Think he's a poser?
He's such a poser. He's out of the room now. He's going back into the Tef box. He didn't know we were talking about him.
It's like, oh, I wonder who they were talking about.
Ugh. I want that sweatshirt on.
Okay.
We should have that conversation with Jamey Jasta. When he's in here, we'll take a break. We'll let you enjoy your breakfast.
I'm really hungry. This might be the new me. I'm going to say things in my radio voice.
That's your radio voice?
Yeah. Really hungry.
I don't like it. We'll be back after this.
We're just reading up on Susan Olsen, wondering if there's any updates from her firing. Like, did she post anything? And I guess not.
No update, but the actor who posted her message and everything, he didn't want to do the show.
We offered to interview him, and he said he didn't want. What did he say?
He didn't want to milk the story. He didn't want to milk this thing.
I understand that instinct, but I don't think of one interview as milking it.
It's also an odd instinct if you're the one who put it out there to begin with. You're the one who posted the message. So, Jamey Jasta is coming in. Jamey Jasta is here. Don't forget, by the way, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Last night we put up a bunch of interviews. The girls from Fuller House is up. Martin Freeman is up. And that chick from Entourage. All went up last night over at youtube.com/Jim and Sam Show.
Nice. So,
Jamey Jasta.
What's up?
Welcome to the show, my friend.
What's going on? Thanks for having me on.
Jamey was just telling me before that he...
Congrats on the new show.
Oh, thanks.
Have you not been on yet?
Nope.
No, not yet.
It's awesome. I was telling Sam before I came on the Gary Busey episode, I was dying.
I didn't realize you hadn't been on yet. I thought you had.
No.
Nope.
I know. It seems like I've been here a lot. Every time I'm coming here, people are like, you're here again? But it's been months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you on UFC Unfiltered, so maybe I'm thinking
Oh,
that's
right.
why I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yep.
Yep. I was. We were talking before the show, and Jamey was going through sleep paralysis right before he got here.
Oh, that's that thing where you wake up and you're like, you're like, it's a weird buzzing. It feels like you can't move, right?
No, I couldn't get out of the dream. Like I was trapped in the dream.
But
knew
you were
I was
aware
in the
that,
dream.
yeah.
And I was like trying to get to Maine, and I kept missing flights, and I couldn't type on the phone. I would type like my flight is late, and it was going like all different characters on the phone, and I don't know why Maine. If there's any like dream experts listening,
I am a dream expert.
You are?
Yes, I am.
So why do you suppose that one would dream of wanting to get to Maine but not being able to? Specifically, Maine.
Because you see yourself as a lobster, and you're afraid that your little claws were going to be tied, and you wouldn't be able to do things like the Maine lobster.
And I was supposed to interview
sense.
Dice, and it was a big deal.
In Maine?
Yeah, and it was like, and we had a show, and I was going to go before the show and interview Dice, and it was supposed to be it was a big deal. And like, if you're late, you're never going to get the opportunity again. You know, you're going to be fucked. You cannot fuck this up. And so I'm trying to text Don Jameson in the dream.
Yeah.
Like, can you get a hold of Dice? I'm going to be late. I'm sorry, I'm missing this flight. And I had to stay at the hotel for an extra 15 minutes. That's why I'm running a little late, because I needed to I was so
collect yourself
mad when I got up, and my face was so creased. Like, you ever have that just whole face crease from the pillow? Where
I have.
I was destroyed.
Jim gets that pillow crease, though. He's not asleep.
No, I'm wide awake, actually. I'm actually being taught a lesson. Wow, that's a weird... The main thing means something with dice. Why dice? Maybe because you're gambling. You're gonna go up there and gamble with some lobsters.
You're really a terrible dream analyzer.
No, I'm good.
I think it probably has to do with the flight, but Maine and dice are probably inconsequential.
No, I think I was. Well, last night I was looking for plane tickets to go to Vegas for the UFC.
There you go.
It's like December 30th.
Are you gonna go?
I'm thinking about it, and I need like only a little bit more miles to keep my status. So I need to do what they call a mileage run or whatever. Yeah. And I was looking, and I saw that Dice was going to be in Vegas, but not those nights. It's like a different. So maybe he was just on my mind.
Now, would you stay out there New Year's Eve or come back the morning of?
I would probably stay out there New Year's Eve or fly on New Year's Eve because it's better to fly New Year's Eve because New Year's Day is crazy. Everybody's flying back, but New Year's Eve nobody's.
I would have to fly back New Year's Eve morning because I have the Tarrytown Music Hall New Year's Eve. So I debated going out for that Ronda fight, but I get the gig the next night.
Oh, so you would have to literally like take that 12:55 a.m. red eye after the fight.
Is there a 12:55 red eye?
Yeah. It's never Delta, though, so I never take it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's United. Well, you'd go to JFK or LaGuardia.
Oh, it doesn't matter that hour. No, it's that flight first thing in the morning.
Yeah, there's a 1 a.m. and there's another one, which I looked at because I thought, well, why are you doing New Year's Eve? I can't stand performing on New Year's Eve.
Because of money.
Is it good?
And I also don't mind. I actually like to do something on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
I like to have a gig, yeah.
So people make it like a date night. I guess
8
comedy's
o'clock show,
different.
yeah. They're not going to be maniacs.
Plus, you probably, if you don't have New Year's plans, probably makes you feel a whole lot less depressed if you have a gig.
Well, I've never tried to make New Year's plans. DC Benny, I think, my buddy, comedian, I think his wedding anniversary is on New Year's Eve. I remember like 20 years ago going, what the fuck, what'd you do? You can't work New Year's Eve. He's like, no, I know. My wife will kill. I think it was New Year's Eve. But it's like, for comedians, it's better money. So you want to work, and it's also something to do. It's a festive night. You don't want to feel like you're not doing anything.
But 8 o'clock, though, so, all right, because usually with bands, they want you on at that time, and then they want to, like, drop balloons or confetti.
Sometimes, yeah.
You have to do the countdown?
Yeah. Like,
I've done that in comedy clubs. I've done that many times.
You have? Okay.
You're not a countdown type of guy, I have to tell you.
I do a good job with the countdown because you fucking just make fun of what's on the screen. You just riff. You got to do like 10 minutes off the cuff or 5 minutes just riffing on the screen.
I just meant literally like the enthusiastic 10, 9, 8 part.
You have fun with it though, and they know that they're there to see you. So it's not like I'm not like, come on, gang. It's more fun. And you just goof on the screen. But no, an 8 o'clock show in a theater is even better because a lot of times people want to go out and do whatever they want to do, or they want to be home, or people want to do other shit. So the 8 o'clock they go out, dinner and a show, and then you're free to do what the fuck you want to do.
Right, you have to get the dinner with that one menu. Like nothing else is available except that one menu. Is it pronounced prefix or is it like something fancy? Because it's spelled fancy, right?
You know, I call it prefix. Yeah,
a prefix menu. Yeah,
prefix menu.
I'm sure there's a French pronunciation of it that we're butchering, but
prefixé.
I don't think that's the way.
I have the prefixé.
But that's good that you go on at 8. Yeah, people go out to dinner, then come see you, and then if they want to go home and watch the ball drop or whatever, do the
comedy
countdown.
clubs do the late show. They hand out the noisemakers. That's a whole fucking thing. People are surprisingly better behaved than they were 15 years ago, though.
Why?
Don't know why. Maybe, because my audience is not as old as, like, you would think. I'm almost 50, and my audience is not all 50-year-olds.
That's weird to me.
It is weird, because a lot of them are younger. They're in their, like, 30s.
That makes no sense to me.
I know, but it shouldn't be that way. But they
just
are... no, but you're right. They are actually... You'd think they'd all be 50 and older, but they're not.
I wouldn't think that your audience would... No, I would say that your comedy lends itself to a younger audience.
Yeah, I'm glad it does.
You're talking about, like, fucking and shit and stuff like that.
I don't know about shit.
Well, sometimes there's shit involved in your comedy.
No, only my radio host.
Oh.
No, not really. I can't. Yeah, there's a little fecal amount. I can't. But they're not as crazy as you'd think. Like I would have thought they'd be maniacs.
Speaking of shit, I went to see Sandler, Swartzen, Spade.
Oh yeah, they're doing
Schneider.
They're doing that tour, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 S's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sandler, Schwartz, Spade, and
even the
Schneider.
opener kid was Sandler. I wonder if he's related to Adam, and that's why he got like the opening slot. But anyways, we were going in, and kids were in the audience, like little kids were going in, and the whole show was sex and shit. Like there wasn't a lot of other
that must
topics.
Sell out, right?
It was packed. It was an arena packed to the gills, like even nosebleeds.
Because the little kids go. Because they're used to seeing like grown-ups and stuff like that.
Right. And then parents are walking out like halfway through, like, and they're like, "Where are you going?" And they're, because it was filthy. I was really
show.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how filthy it was, but the show was great.
It's great that it's filthy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but like, You would think that I guess you couldn't expect them to do research because to those of us who know these guys, like Nick Swartzen is filthy, Adam Sandler, anybody that knows anything he's done before Grown Ups knows that he's filthy.
Yeah.
You know, like Rob Schneider is Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo, like all of them.
Boy, fucking Nick must kill him, this guy. Nick's a good stand-up, man.
Yeah.
He killed.
Yeah, of
and
course he did.
every one of them had a diarrhea bit, but it was different and inventive. Like, you know, we've heard a lot of diarrhea bits, a lot of farting bits, but they all had their own take, and I was surprised because I went with Craig Gass, so I like to watch the other comedian.
Ironic. Craig Gass and a diarrhea bit.
So I like to watch his reaction. He's cracking up the whole time because it's like when you go to a show with a band dude, every dude is like, you've seen it, you're like, okay.
Right.
You know, how many concerts can you really see? Some bands do the same banter every show for like 10 years, every in between song, but these guys, all the sets were
You guys
new.
having a good time?
Yes. Circle pit.
How much time are they doing? What are they doing? A half hour each or no? Less than that. It's gotta be. What's Sandler do? 45?
No, I think they all did a half hour and Sandler did an hour.
That's a long show.
Because he does songs and stuff. It was really long. Like, I was surprised that everybody hung in there. And, I mean, sure, Sandler had his idiot hecklers. Like, people that, like, 5 minutes in, they're yelling Hanukkah song and shit. It's like, dude, listen to the new set. Because they all had notes.
I like that he's still doing stand-up. Good for him.
Me too.
Yeah, it was great. I was psyched. And he was sick, and he was drinking tea, and you could hear it in his voice. But once he got to the end of the show with the songs, he was like pitch perfect. He can really sing.
Did he do Hanukkah song?
Yeah, he did the classics at the end. I think he did a little bit of Lunch Lady and a little bit of Hanukkah.
I don't know Lunch Lady.
You don't know Lunch Lady Land?
Lunch Lady
No,
Land?
I don't.
It's great.
It's awesome. But Swartzen really killed. And Rob Schneider, he's like... He was salty when we went backstage. Mm-hmm. Should I say this on the radio?
You should, yeah.
Okay, he's salty. Like,
Is he?
And I really respect that because, like, when you get to be that age, like, what is he? He's got to be, what, 54, 55?
I don't know if I know him. I don't think I've ever met Rob Schneider.
He's probably definitely in his 50s.
I can't wait for you to meet him then and see what your reaction is.
Why?
Because he's at that age where, and I can't wait to be that age, where you can just literally say anything you want to anyone and you're probably not going to get punched in the face. Like, in music, if you say certain things, there's a good chance you could still get punched in the face. Whereas in comedy, you guys are such savages. You can say whatever you want. Like, someone's dead 5 minutes and you guys are just destroying them.
Trying to figure out what the best joke is here. Yeah.
We could never do that. Like, and so we go back there, we're trying to take a picture, and Rob Schneider's like, just take the Craig wanted to do some like silly like band shot, and he's like, just take the fucking picture. All right. I hate when people do it. And we thought he was joking at first, but he wasn't. He's just salty.
Wow. And you like that?
Yeah, I loved it. I said Schneider's coming in hot. Watch out. And then Craig's like, well, I thought it would be, and he's like, you're a fucking comedian. You should know better.
Wow.
Yeah,
Rob Schneider reprimanding Craig Gass.
Do they know each other or no?
No. Because
how do you know he's a comedian?
Because check this out. We're talking to Nick. At first we go backstage and there's nobody back there. It's so much different than a rock show. And this is an arena show. I'm thinking Spade did have babes back there, but everybody else was quiet, right? Mm-hmm. So we're walking through the hallway and it's quiet, and Nick is in there icing his knee, and he's in his underwear, and I'm telling Craig, like, this is not a good time. Like, we should probably bounce. And Craig's like, hey, Nick, and is it a good time? And he's like, dude, and look at me. I'm in my underwear. My knee is shot.
No is the answer.
Right. So we're like, all right, we'll see you after. And then we go. So we go in the hallway and we're talking after the show. And Nick absolutely killed it. I think he got probably one of the best reactions of the night. And Craig is talking, and Schneider's walking up, and he's like, I can hear your voice from down the hallway, whatever. And he's like, you're a comedian? And he's like, yeah, my name's Craig, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I could have guessed. And so that was the first indication that he was going to be salty.
And you get excited when people are kind of dicks.
Yes.
Yeah, you like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to be so nice. Like, in the music business, you have to be so nice.
Yeah.
You really do. But I think in comedy, if you're at that arena level, like, you don't have to be nice.
Yeah, you should.
And Rob Schneider doesn't exactly have a great reputation.
Oh yeah, he's coming out doing Trump jokes. Like, he was doing like reservation, like Native American jokes at Mohegan Sun that were kind of edgy, and that people were like, but it was.
But he did. He's
ballsy. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I like his daughter a lot. She's awesome.
Have you ever
She's fucking great.
That's his daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
She had
awesome.
that big single.
Yeah. She's like a blonde singer.
Yeah, she's great. I actually, I watched her sing acoustic. I really dig her. I do. She's great.
That's what you spend your time doing?
There's a lot worse things I could be doing with my time, Sam. That's the healthiest thing I do. I Google a young lady with a lovely voice.
But he killed. Schneider killed.
How would you feel, Jim, if you're back there and you decide to take a photo and Rob Schneider said, Jim, you're a comedian. You should know better.
It would depend on what I was doing, but I would probably have an unpleasant response. But I wouldn't do that during a photo. I would say, let's just take it.
Right.
I take them fast. I don't try to get the guys to do anything. I just try to get them to look in the same semi-direction I'm looking
pull
at.
up my Instagram. I mean, he looks smiley. We look like we're having a great time. You would never.
Are you sure he
think-
wasn't being just sarcastic and breaking balls? He might be a ball breaker. He might just be a guy who's like an asshole, but in a fun way.
Or no?
I don't know. He seemed pretty salty. Go down a little bit. There he is. Like it's a fun picture, right? Like we're hanging out.
Everybody's just having a good
Look at
time.
that crew. That's a hard crew.
Did Rob Schneider keep that smile on his face for long?
No, he really he went to the ice grin and.
Did you guys meet Adam?
No, we didn't get to meet Adam, and I was bummed. Well, he had his whole family there because I guess he split time between Brooklyn and Manchester, New Hampshire. So he's kind of like right in the middle there at Mohegan Sun, and there's aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff. But
was Craig annoyed that Rob Schneider was reprimanding him?
No, Craig understands what people go through on the road, and everybody is allowed to have a bad day, and he's a pro, and he's always happy and upbeat, and is a really cool.
He
dude.
really is a good dude, Craig Gass.
Yes.
He's a fun guy, man. I like Craig a lot. Really, really nice guy.
Oh man,
I only met Adam one time. He came into the Comedy Cellar with Kevin James recently. He was very nice. I mean, but it was a very brief.
I saw Kevin James do stand up not too long
He's
ago.
funny, man. Kevin's he's a really good stand up.
But he did like a theater, and he only did like 40 minutes, and he was gone.
Maybe he's
He was just out the door.
Maybe that's all the material that he was.
My only guess is that he hasn't maybe been doing it as actively, because I remember when he was about to break. I remember seeing him at the comic strip one night, and he came off. He had murdered, and there was a bunch of agents around. It was like you could just sense when there's something happening for a guy. It was before. I think I auditioned for the King of Queens not long after that. It was like you just knew something was happening for this dude because of all the excitement when he came off and all these guys in suits around him. And he was a very, very funny stand-up. So maybe he stopped it a little bit, and maybe he's doing more.
Just working up towards.
Just getting back into it. Yeah, I'm guessing maybe he wants to shoot a special or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's, when you're doing $100 million films, all right. Yeah,
you kind of put stand-up on the side for a little while.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't blame him, but he was a really good stand-up. He wasn't a guy that got lucky. Like, he was a fucking solid act.
Yeah. Yeah.
His brother's funny, too. Gary Valentine's a very funny stand-up.
They all break each other's balls like in their sets too, which is great. They're totally aware of themselves and their current, films and what's going on.
So you just don't get to have any of that meanness in the music industry.
Well, you can't. I mean, our industry's shrinking, and like everybody you see on the way up is who you see on the decline. We're all declining, whether we like it or not. But
it's just funny because like hardcore music you would think is like screaming and aggression and comedy is just like guys telling jokes and stuff, but then you get back and the musicians are the ones that are all like, hey, that was great.
Because they're getting it out on stage.
Yeah. Oh, that's and the comedians have to be nice on stage and fun or whatever.
Smiley clown fruits. You're out there screaming and you're nice and relaxed afterwards, and off stage we're just
it's very therapeutic. And I actually read this thing recently that said screaming is the same sort of reaction chemical wise in your brain as laughing.
Really?
So I'd like, if anybody experts are out there,
I get a good scream out every day. I do scream therapy.
You do?
Yeah. Ah!
Does that count?
Yeah, it was a scream.
You break TVs with a baseball bat. What's that place you can go to where you can do that? I want to go there.
Anthony Cumia's house.
Do you ever what's the hardcore fan base like? Have they become more inclusive of everything, or is it still like, no, we have our stuff? Do you think like Kanye? We were talking to who is it? Sebastian Bach about Kanye,
right.
and he was kind of being like, fuck Kanye
because of the way he handled his tour.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Kanye gets a lot of flack, but I think, I don't know. I'm so far removed from that like real underground hardcore scene. It used to be that we were anti all that stuff. Like you didn't need the $300 pair of sneakers, and
right.
And that stuff was silly. Like, why would you pay that much money for something that's made in China for like $2? It literally makes no sense. But
Of course.
it's a status symbol. It's like it has some social currency. Like if you're walking down the street and you see some guy wearing the Kanye sneaker
Yeezys,
you go, oh. Maybe he makes a lot of money, or maybe he waited in line for 3 days and camped out. I just go, you're a fool. I mean, no, you're not a fool. I mean, you can't really judge someone's
I want
character.
Dr. Ngali's. Oh, no, Dr. Ugolino.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were supposed to get some for the
I don't know where they are. And I never heard anything. Dr. Ugolino. I wanted some Dr. Ugolinos.
Come on, what is
Jim
that?
wants to wear bootleg Yeezys on his special.
But they have to be $70 or under bootleg Yeezys.
Oh, these are bootleg ones?
Dr. Ugolini, yeah. I should have ordered them. I didn't know where to get them. I was so stupid.
We're in a situation right now in the country where, especially when the economy kind of takes a dip, where people are so desperate to act like they have this social status or social currency with brands and jewelry, and that's the whole hip hop thing, right? Like, what's the hip hop current like go to subjects? It's usually like how great I am,
girls and fucking cars. Has always been
and
money.
the club.
My rhymes are better.
And so
pandas.
People could say the same thing about heavy metal, but there's a lot of different heavy metal. There's stuff that's fantasy based, where you could hear bands singing about Vikings and dragons, and then there's stuff that's personal about the singer's narrative, his life, or whatever. And that's the hip hop that I like, is the stuff that's not like, oh, look at me, I'm better than you. I like the stuff that's socially aware and trying to like bring people up and not create this divide. Like, I'm better than you because I make more money.
Well, the hip-hop revolution started years ago when it was guys like LL Cool J, guys like Big Daddy Kane, or Run DMC. They were all doing like
it's Craig Schenkel.
You're
raps.
giving Dr. Ugolini such a nice plug right here.
But the newer rap has got like very angry and different like
Craig Schenkel.
guns and shooting and things like that, like with the West Coast, East Coast beef.
Nobody wants to know your fucking trivia, dude.
You don't like Craig discussing rap?
No. No, I hate when Craig comes in like a hip-hop historian.
Well, these are $1,200?
No, Dr. Ugolini's were cheaper. They were $70.
Yeah.
I'm not paying that kind of money for Dr. Ugolini.
Well, those are real.
So, but why do you want that? Is that so a girl who's very shallow looks down at your
I want to
sneakers?
point out.
He wants fake ones.
No, I want fake ones.
No, but why does like the random kid today?
I'll tell you off air. I can't say it on air. I don't know, actually. I don't know.
Because they're
It's
cool.
Status, yes, like anything else.
It's like anything else that's ever been cool. Same reason why fucking, in the 80s, people were growing their hair out long because Bret Michaels grew his hair out long. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just...
It's the horde mentality, the sheep following the one.
Yeah, it's just cool. Like, that's what's cool now. So that's what you do.
I don't know, man. It seems so silly. It's just not my thing. But hey, credit to Kanye for making a shit ton of money and influencing people like that. I guess that when you have power over the masses like that, you have to respect it a little bit. But
like,
it also
we were in
seems
school,
kind of sad.
Like starter jackets were the shit.
That's right.
What price did he pay for all this? Now he has like mental health problems, right?
We had them before.
He did?
Oh, of course he did. You don't run up and either that or drinks too much. You don't run up and take Taylor Swift's fucking award unless there's something, you're a narcissist drinker. I heard he was drunk that night, or maybe he said, maybe I'm wrong. He's just I don't think you're gonna get sued for saying someone's a narcissist.
And he gets us to talk about it on the radio.
I want to see, because it's weird. To have some Kanye is not really respected by metal necessarily,
especially hardcore, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, if you look at just the music, the guy is prolific. I mean, the output.
I love Kanye
and the quality.
I'm a fan.
Okay,
yeah.
So you know that. Yeah, so the quality and the output is something
incredible
to behold.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And finding other talent, right? Like he's found a lot of other talent that has. So when you have your finger on the pulse of something like that, you're obviously being. You're
like we do on this radio show.
Yeah, exactly.
We picked up Teft. He's like the Scott Brocious of radio. We picked him up off the Oakland A's scrap heap.
Yeah, I mean, he's been at the forefront of that genre of music for a long time. Like, he kind of sets the pace. Kanye does.
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as sounds,
but like
his sound library, just incorporating different sounds. I mean, for people who make beats or produce hip hop or get those types of performances out of people, I'm sure he has a ton of respect from.
But like your audience.
Well, he's just not on a lot of ours radar. Oh, but I don't know. There was a time where when I was getting into hardcore, there was a lot of crossover with hip hop. Like it was okay to like MOP and Mobb Deep and early 50 Cent. And there was a lot of, I think, camaraderie there. Especially, there's a lot of great underground hip hop like Jedi Mind Tricks and Ill Bill.
That's different.
Guys who respect what we do and vice versa.
Astro Belly Bell,
but they're not singing about the club and the bling and things like that. So I mean, hardcore also
it's unisex, bro.
We were relegated to one area of town for a long time. Like if we go play Detroit, we play in a very low income area. Same with New Haven, Connecticut, where I grew up and where I used to go to shows. The club was not in the suburbs like it is now.
Right.
Like when we used to go play DC, we would play Safari Club. It was deep in the hood. It's not like out in Annapolis, Maryland or Bethesda like it is now.
Right.
So once metal and hardcore music started to make money and became popular and kind of like there was a minute where we were on the sort of, I guess you could call like the mainstream radar.
Right.
Then we could start doing House of Blues and stuff. But I don't know what the modern scene is like. I'll see, like I saw flyers in my town the other day for a show at a VFW hall, and it was all like, they gave the descriptions like straight edge hardcore band, punk from Massachusetts or whatever. And I was like, that's cool. Kids are still making flyers and doing shows at VFW halls, and God bless them. But I don't know if they're into, this sort of crossover into the Kanye world.
Are you ordering some of those?
I'm looking at the.
Don't do it.
Those are perfect.
Do they look like Yeezys?
Yes.
They're very close?
Yeah. They're close enough.
$30.
They're close enough, but if you really looked at them, you could tell they were like shitty bootlegs, which is what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do look something like them.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I don't know what size I'll be. How much are they?
They're $20.99.
Okay, I want to get, are Yeezys unisex?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, see, women size.
What size sneaker do you wear?
It varies, man.
Oh
like
my
between.
God,
hold on, I
everything's so
can't. I have fat
difficult.
feet. I know it's hard for me to buy footwear. You shouldn't be saying that
You need
mockingly.
the wide. I get the wide.
So do I.
Yeah, it's the way I need my condoms. I'll order a few pairs.
You want me to just send you the link?
No, can you? I'll give you my credit card. Can you order them?
Yeah.
You're getting a woman's
and I have to give you my.
Get that overnight shipping, too.
I need it overnight shipped.
Ship it overnight, Aid.
What do you need? Do you need my?
Yeah, when's your
You need your
special?
credit
Can I
card.
still go?
This
For
Saturday.
money to pay for it. And your address.
I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be, because you're probably getting punished for the guest list, right?
It's fine. I don't mind. It's low. It's New York. I
You
don't
sure?
mind. Yeah, 100%.
You're not having like 300 guests.
I have a lot of guests, but it's okay. It's over 2 shows. You're welcome to come.
Okay.
Trust me.
Thank you.
It's fun.
Aid, what do you need?
Babe?
Credit card address.
80, baby.
Get the grayish ones, the charcoal. Or wait, you're gonna get.
No,
the
you
black?
gotta get the black
Okay.
ones.
Yeah, because they'll match. Get me.
You're gonna wear those in your special.
If I'm gonna see how they feel, but yeah,
You got to, dude. You have to. Who gives a fuck how they feel? It'll be so funny.
I have to.
Plus, it'll be like a nice shout out to the radio show listeners. They're gonna know.
Yeah, I know that, but this goes. Well, I can't say what network it is, but let's just say it's not just going to be seen in the U.S.
That's awesome. You're gonna be.
I want to
schmuck.
have men's 7s. Do they do half sizes?
Half slice.
Yeah. Start at the bottom down here.
Men 7.
Yeah, they got 8.5, 6.5.
No 7.5.
No 7.5. How about men's
Sold out.
7, men's 8, and then see if you can find them in
Men's
7.5.
7.5.
Could you imagine if they did this with cars? Like you could get a knockoff like Mercedes.
Yeah.
They did it right with the one that looked like the Bentley. What was that?
Oh, I know exactly what you're
Right?
talking about. Yeah, yeah.
And every dude was big pimping in it.
Right.
Like you would hear it at every light, like with a system, and you look and you have to do a double take. And I think Bentley was like, shut it down. Like they're like, no, you
this
can't.
is illegal. Oh, I love this. Oh, Jim is paying $20 for Yeezys. What's wrong, Travis?
I'm just shocked that he has size 7.5 feet.
They're such little boy feet.
It's the tiniest feet I've
7.5?
ever heard.
7, 7.5, and 8. Yeah, 'cause I don't know how they fit. They might be big.
7.5 is children's shoes.
Yeah.
And then also get 8 and 8.5. Get me 4 pairs, because again, I only have one shot at wearing them. I have wide feet.
But they're short?
Yeah, I've talked about my feet for years. How do you not pay attention to my foot talk?
7.5 is just.
I did a TED talk on feet.
Oh, I didn't realize.
And 8.5. Give me 4 pairs of the exact same ones. Let me see. I got to do. This is my credit card. My billing information is a little different though. Let me write
Give
down
me
my
your
bill.
billing information. Just say it on the air. Oh, this is great. This is great. So, Jamey, when you go to Jim's special, you'll be able to see
The knockoffs.
the knockoff Yeezys. Oh, it's great.
The bags too, right? Like, that's a big deal. Like for women, they want the fake $6,000.
Yeah, you get them out on the
bag.
street. Yeah, but even the fake ones, like a fake $6,000 bag, is still like a couple $100.
It is.
Like you're not paying $30
And
for it.
that's
You're
to,
paying
like-
$200, $300, $400.
And that's to like show other hoes, like, look, I'm like top hoe.
Right.
Like I have this, I'm better than you.
Like, look at my dope bag.
It's not because, I have all this stuff that needs to fit in this bag and I have to carry it around.
Well, no, I mean, you could carry a garbage bag if that were the point. Like,
there was some rapper who said real G's move in silence, and I was like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Like, you're not flashy.
That might have been Kumo D. He said that a long time
stop
ago.
referencing. You only know 3 rappers, Craig.
I know a lot of rappers.
Cool Mo D, I had that tape. He was
Curtis
great.
Blow, Kingdom Blow.
Big
That
Daddy
was cool.
Kane. See, that's the stuff that,
Yeah, he was fucking fresh.
Especially like, what was, growing up, I had, was there another tape I had? Eric B. and Rakim.
Yeah, I remember those guys.
That's the real shit.
Yeah, Rakim, they did Painted Full was a very big record for them, and the
Everybody
real
knows
50
that.
Cent was on the back of that one.
Everybody knows that.
And The Ghetto was a very good song, too. Well, it's
So-
just called The Ghetto. Elvis's version was in The Ghetto.
Rags to the Riches. Who was that? That was great.
I don't know, Craig. Who was it?
I don't want to say his name because
you
he
don't
gave
know.
a negative image.
So do you ever like deal with people that might want to because like you're kind of one of the big dudes in hardcore music. You're one of the kings, I would say.
Oh, stop.
Do you ever deal with dudes that might want to like hide some of their musical tastes around you? You know what I mean? Like maybe somebody shows up in like a one shirt but wears another one when you're around.
I don't know.
Would that make someone a weenie?
like would you refer to that person as a posier?
Someone hit me up. They were at a Weezer show, and Weezer did like a Hatebreed version. Like they had a Weezer shirt with a Hatebreed logo, like the flame logo, but it said Weezer. And I was like, I love Weezer, and they're like, you do? And I'm like, yeah. Like I don't believe in any of that like guilty pleasures. In
Yeah, you
music.
like what you like.
Yeah,
Right. But what if like somebody showed up in a Kanye hoodie, right? And then before you got here, put that hoodie away and wore like a hardcore t-shirt. Would you be like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, you'll see those people sometimes, like in the meet and greet. Like they'll wear something and they obviously want you to say something about it.
Are they kind of weenies, do you think?
No, I think they're just having fun with it.
Are they having fun with it?
Yeah. Like if you see like, well, I don't know. Like one time this guy was in the meet and greet with a Nickelback shirt on, but non-ironically. Like just was fully repping Nickelback at the show. And I was like, hey, respect.
Right.
You know, if you're that into somebody. See, he's down with the core. He's got his Bane shirt on.
Yeah, I mean, well, Derek's a real dude. He's down with
Derek.
He's a hardcore dude.
He's a hardcore guy.
Who's Bane? I don't even know who Bane is. I know it from the Batman movie.
Right.
Cool G Rap. That was the tape.
Yeah,
I played that tape out. What year was that?
I'm gonna guess that was like 1985. Because
Nobody needs you to guess.
Like these kids now, they have Soldier Boy. Come on, Cool G Rap destroys that shit. Go listen to Cool G Rap.
Him and Melly-
learn about the history,
Right.
Melly
and
Bell.
respect the originators.
And Grandmaster remember Marley Marl, who used to have his thing? They did that rap. with
Yeah, I know, Craig. I know.
He was on
I know.
107.5 WBLS.
Fine. I know. It's all good.
Hip hop history.
What's going on, D-Bag?
Who's Bane? I don't know
I'm
who Bane.
under the impression that you've been discussing me a bit.
I don't know who Bane
What are you
is.
talking
I'm
about?
asking you who Bane is.
Bane is a hardcore band from New England who've been around for like.
Now, did they break up? Or are they done now?
They went on like their hiatus tour for like 3 years, and then they finally played their last show in Worcester at the Palladium a few months ago.
Oh, that must have been insanity.
It was nuts. Yeah, I went. It was crazy.
That's great. See, I'm still fully into all those old records. Like I can go back and I can listen to it, but I'm not nostalgic. Like I don't wish it was like it was then. Now I think now is the best time, and I'm fully happy like with how everything is now. But with bands like that, sometimes I'm envious that they can still do like the no barricade shows and the small shows, because at a Bane show, their fans are respectful of one another, and they kind of like, I mean, I don't know, I shouldn't say because I haven't been to a Bane show in 15 years or whatever, but I would imagine that everybody's having a good time, whereas our music is just different enough and just metal enough where if we were to do a show like that, someone's going to get hurt, I'm going to get sued. It's and it's not, you know, no one's going to sue the guy from Bane. I mean, I love Aaron, all those guys are great, but no one's going to, like, you know, no girl's going to get her teeth kicked in and say, I want to sue the band. Whereas with me, it's
that
a different story.
Why wouldn't they sue them? Just because they're an underground band?
Yeah.
There's no money either.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, if they went on a 3-year farewell tour, there's probably some money.
Well, it was always the last tour, and then it was, you know.
But hardcore has a thing about they're kind of like quiet about the money, you know. Whereas I don't give a fuck. Like we can't. Yeah, we can't go.
Because they don't want you to. They don't want you to know that they're making money.
Well, I don't know. I just think that they're worried about what the audience is gonna say if it's more about money.
You don't worry about that though.
No, I
you got the fucking NASCAR hat on. You got the logo plastered on. No problemo.
Look, it's when I'm gonna be 40 next year, and my daughter's, you know, a teenager. There's college to pay for. There's real life responsibilities that involve money.
Right.
But if you're a 19-year-old kid and you're in a hardcore band and you live with your parents and you can tour in a van, God bless you. That, you know, I support it. I'm fully into it. I'm just in a different position.
Totally.
Are you cold?
So they think that I wore a Kanye West hoodie this morning.
Oh, you did?
And they think that I took it off to impress you.
Can we see it?
But I wear.
Hold on, can we see it? Hold on, I haven't seen it.
How much was the hoodie?
It was expensive.
Okay.
But the backstory behind it
But
was
why? Why? Just be honest. Like, is it a status thing? Like, is someone going to see you in that and be like, "Hey, man, I like that"?
No, I really don't give a shit about that. The only reason I bought it was because he did like a pop-up shop downtown, and I was sent as a photographer there, and I got to cut this line. The line was like 3 blocks long, and I was like, "Fuck it, I might as well grab one of these hoodies."
Okay. Why didn't you just resell it for like $900?
Well, here's
how much did it cost you?
It was expensive. It was like, I think it was like $100.
So you paid $100 for a hoodie?
I was gonna resell it, and you're gonna make fun of me and be like, "That's not the reason." But
So
it is
don't
true.
cut- if we do, just let us do that.
I cut the whole line because I got in on a press credential, and then I was like, you know what? It's kind of scummy if I sell this on eBay and I use my press credential to cut a line for 4 blocks long. So
no, it's not. The scummy part is taking the hoodie.
And the scummy part is people who will line up for this dumb hoodie.
If you went to, what do you mean? I went to journalism school. You bought a hoodie at the place you were reporting from.
But just level.
That's not journalistic
the hoodie
integrity.
Is not made from like some rare.
No, it's some made in China shit. Yeah,
right.
I've worn it like 3 times since I got it. It just kind of in my closet.
I had too much journalistic integrity to resell the hoodie, but not to buy it in the first place.
In my opinion, you talk about no integrity with journalists. I think that's bullshit.
I have another question. Does he rip off like hardcore and metal bands for his designs?
Yeah. He did a whole tour. His Yeezy tour was like that's when it was all like the 80s Metallica-y looking, like with the skulls and the lightning type lettering.
Yeah.
He
Didn't Bieber do the same thing?
Yeah, Bieber just did that on this tour.
And he hired
all these artists
the
rip
artist.
off the aesthetic of hardcore and metal, and then they go run with it, and they're huge. And so I mean, in a way, I guess it's smart.
But do you think that like
hi, Dave.
Hello, guys.
David Attell just walked in.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Don't let me stop you.
No.
We're just going over his. Well, you're very ominously dressed. You're we were talking about his sweatshirt taste and his t-shirt.
But do you think that
I didn't know this was a fashion show.
I'm not saying you look bad. Just
How much was the sweatshirt?
It's like $100. He said it's probably
$100
more.
sweatshirt. Oh, see, that seems like.
But don't you think
not that bad?
If you're going to talk about being like a journalist, though, don't you think that like going to report on something? What are you guys doing?
I don't know.
Don't you guys think that? Hey, Adrian, you got to let D-Bag go if we're talking to him. Don't you think that buying something at the place that you're reporting on and like being a fan?
I thought you were going to say it was like $350. Like I was at some show. Maybe it was Sabbath. I think their hoodies were $75 or $80. So I mean that doesn't like $100 to wait in line though for 4 blocks.
Yeah.
People. How many hours is that?
It's the Kanye pop-up shop.
Yeah, most people didn't even get in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you bought that, and
I love that you guys are talking about merch because that's like, nobody really brings it up. That's really how bands make money, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
I went to Kanye's tour this year before he canceled the whole thing, and it was like the whole thing was a store that he just happened to be playing at.
The Yeezy store, right?
Like
on every concourse, he had different merch booths.
He played at the Garden, and he had like the one standard merch booth, but the lines. to get the merch were like longer than, by a mile longer than any show I'd ever been to. People missed the show because they were waiting online for merch.
He's very good, by the way, at making his stuff seem like, oh, it's important to have this, even though you don't know why you want. Because that sweatshirt I just saw is average. And there's nothing great about that sweatshirt.
No, and that was something that hip hop artists kind of neglected for a while. Like I've been to a bunch of hip hop shows where they didn't even have T-shirts, nothing. Yeah. And you would think that they'd have like a Scully cap, a baseball hat, you know, some CDs, some vinyl.
Right.
But they had nothing. So yeah, he's smart, I guess.
Well, I think that explains his exhaustion. I mean, he's running a full tilt. You know, I'm not going to say it's a Macy's. It's more of a Marshalls, maybe.
Sandler had a whole bit about Marshalls the other night. And then brought up Bradley's. Did you guys have Bradley's?
Yeah, my first job was at Bradley's.
No way!
My
That's a special occasion.
Yeah,
yeah. My
I was
mother
16.
would bring me like after the dentist. We would go to Bradley's.
How many days did you work there before they threw you out for being creepy?
No, I actually I worked in menswear.
Oh, you did?
And I would fold shirts. I worked 3 hours a part-time job. That was my first job ever. Was Bradley's in North Brunswick. Yeah.
Wow.
My friend Andrew Powell worked there.
And you worked at Caldor after that, right?
Years after that. I worked at Caldor.
Resume builder.
ShopRite.
Put a bike on layaway when I was like 5 at Caldor. I don't think I ever got the bike.
Yeah, I worked at Krausers.
Just keep putting money in and
So times were tough.
So Kanye, is he back out? Because I did pray for him. You know, I was told through Twitter to pray for him, so I did.
That's probably what got him out.
And prayers got him out.
It's hard praying for a guy with a way better life than you, but I did.
Good. Yeah, he's back. He's recovering.
Mm-hmm.
He's recovering after the sheer exhaustion and
well, you know, it's also his performance. Like he's on that elevated stage.
Yeah.
You know, which is hilarious when you cancel a show from there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's like, my throat hurts, show's canceled, and then he's got to like lower me back down.
He's got to wait until it just goes and then tilts down. Yeah.
The union got paid extra.
Like, couldn't he have thought that before he got on the heaven stage?
It's kind of one of those things. Once you commit to being on that stage, you're committed.
You're up there.
That show, it's 90 minutes.
I thought he should just, he should have done something.
You should have finished the show. You gotta finish the show you're doing.
Were people aware that he was having trouble at that point? Like, were people going just to see the meltdown, not necessarily going to see the show?
People deserve what they get at the Kanye show. If he doesn't show up, you deserve it. Because you know that he fucks his people all the time. He doesn't give a fuck about his fans. He'll short you on his show, or fuck him.
But that's not why people.
He'll make you wait for hours, like he did at Bonnaroo years ago. He's a prick.
At the festival.
Is it a tape or a band?
It's a band, but it's in the it's a tape and a band.
Okay.
He's got a DJ and he's got a band. But the band is like in the crowd, like where you put a marching band at a basketball game, you know how they're in the audience kind of?
Yep.
That's where he puts his band, but it's not lit. You don't see him.
Wow, that's pretty that's a weird setup because
that's a pretty cool stage.
Because now it looks like it's just like him talking like from heaven down to everybody.
That's what it is, and it moves and like they do it ends up being a mosh pit under the stage.
Oh.
Yeah. And like that way they can sell they sell the entire floor out.
Yeah.
There's no stage section. So it's the most people I've ever seen fit into Madison Square Garden because you sell the whole thing.
But what if you're like underneath him as he sings? So like you get to see the bottom of the stage?
Yeah.
That sucks.
It lights you and people just that's where
dance.
they form a mosh pit.
And there's probably screens you can watch on, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So he does like the Paul Stanley. I'm gonna come out and see you.
Yeah, he's doing Love Gun, yeah.
But he also like leans over the thing because he's tethered in. So he leans over the stage.
He's tied in
wearing
himself.
like a
Yeah, he's tethered into
Well, that's
it.
I mean, hey, that's something new. That's inventive. It's I mean, if you've been to a hip hop show, sometimes it's just a lot of voices over the track and the
it's
mix
terrible.
is weird.
Yeah.
So I know, but there's some artists that have a full band, and the band are like amazing session guys or girls that are killing it. So I was wondering, if he had a band where you could maybe have some notable names in the band where you'd be like, oh, the guy from Roots is sitting in.
Was there an intermission in his show?
No, it's 90 minutes. And that's
maybe the intermission was between the two bands, or between the opening act and him.
No, there is no opener.
Oh.
There's no intermission.
There's no intermission.
No, because there's no stage. So where would the opener go?
You're right.
Yeah.
Where does he do? Does he come down from somewhere?
No, they have like the stage moves, so it's all the way at the end of the arena. And it's almost blacked out, so you don't even see the stage when you're sitting there. And smoke billows up, and so he comes onto the stage from backstage. There's no curtain, but there's like a smoke billowing up thing, so you don't see him. And then at the end of the show, they actually clear, like security guys come, and they clear the audience with flashlights out of one little area because the stage comes down and it tilts down into that area that's now been cleared out, and he just walks up. He walks out the other end of the floor.
Oh, I'll be honest, that's pretty fucking badass.
It's really cool.
That's
Cool.
pretty
It's cool
badass.
to see.
That's actually, he puts a lot into his show.
And he wasn't.
I'll say that.
He wasn't having meltdowns on this tour before the last couple shows. Like I went and it was 90 minutes and it was music and it was like just the show.
You know what? I'll amend what I said because that's right. He does put a lot into his show, and he doesn't want it to just be him rapping over tracks. Like he has a whole fucking stage thing planned. And
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, he actually cares about how it looks.
And there's like crazy lighting and the stage doing stuff and there's colors and some. It's like it's pretty cool.
If he walks to the end of the stage, though, will it tip forward or no?
No, it's all leveled out. But he will like put his ankles on the thing, you know what I mean? So his feet are off the stage and he's leaning all the way forward.
Oh, wow.
He's tethered in. You know, it becomes taut.
I would be, I hate to be the old man in the room, but I'd be frightened that the thing would fall on me and crushed to death by Kanye.
Let's go sit in the seats, guys. We don't need general admission for this one.
Are those the general admission seats?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, then there you go.
What do the tickets go for? Like, what's the average price for a ticket?
For general admission? It's not $1 million, Chip. It's probably like, I could see him charging $200 for general admission.
It says 29 to $200.
I've never heard of a 90-minute hip hop show, so credit to him. But like, if you look at the metal shows, like the bands that are out there doing evening with, like Machine Head does 2.5 hours, and these are some of the best musicians you can see live in a setting, and you go there and they kill it for 2.5 hours. Same with Anthrax. Anthrax is going out.
90 minutes feel short.
It does?
He could do more than 90
because he has that many songs
yes,
that you know.
Absolutely.
Like the Gold Digger one and the
everything.
I mean, there's songs that I heard that I didn't even know was him.
Right.
But
no, he's got like something like 7 albums or so, and like all of them have a lot.
You
of
ever hear
hits.
Diamonds Are Forever?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
He did.
One
he
other
does a retake on
thing.
that.
One other thing I'll say about Kanye too is where I don't know if this is still like this in hip hop, but it used to be like if your song came out like 9 months ago, it was old and passe. Where his stuff kind of has shelf life.
Yeah, he did a ton of old stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that still like that in hip hop? Where like a song, like if I came in here and I was listening to Lean Back, you'd be like, bro, that would be
terrible.
Right. Okay.
But it's also like now. Like it's that with artists and songs. So like an artist will come out with a song.
You have to stay current.
And once that song is done, the song and the artist are done.
Like what happened to the Panda guy?
That's what
that was huge.
Designer.
And my buddy works in the hip hop industry, and he's always giving me like the updates and the craziness. And I said, "Yo, your boy, your dude, Panda, he's due for another hit. What happened to him?" And he's like, "Oh."
It's like in the '80s when like rock had one-hit wonders. That's what's going on with hip hop right now, except it's like guys mumbling over tracks. Like mumble rap is huge.
Right.
And it's just like you'll have your hit for the most part.
The best friend, that one.
Right.
That was on in my daughter's car, and I'm like, what is this guy saying? And it's like, best friend. And
I mean, he's got other songs, the Panda guy, but they're not Panda level.
He's not best friend, though.
What happened to your hand?
Because that guy's huge. The other guy, the best friend guy.
What happened to your hand?
What about the ringtone rappers? Remember that whole deal, like where you could get paid off the ringtone?
Yeah.
And then it was like, this is why I'm hot. Everybody had the ringtone. What happened to that guy?
Right. Well, this is why I'm hot guy.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who sang that song. Mims, maybe. Yeah, he's
in
over.
hardcore and metal, it's totally different. If you made a record 30 years ago, they're like, we just want to hear that record from 30 years ago. Like Iron Maiden, they come out, they have to play the record from 30 years ago. Like a hardcore band, the kids will go to the show, they want to buy the shirt from the record that's 30 years ago, 25 years ago. They're the new material, you play like 1 or 2. But you got to stick to the whole shit.
You have to.
How did you hurt yourself doing kettlebells? Dave's
Are we
injured.
changing topics? I thought it was white guys talking about rap all day, all night. Go ahead. Any other thoughts on rap?
We're analyzing the culture as a whole.
What a good-natured talk on rap. I have a question before we get into my thing. It's like, do you have problems since you do like big arena shows? Like, do you have problems with people with phones in the crowd? Like, do you have a problem with that, or do you like that?
No. And actually, we rarely get to do arenas. Like we did one last year we did an arena tour with Slipknot, and that was right around, I think, that time where the guy from Disturbed, David, was giving people a hard time, or Corey from Slipknot, I think, was giving people a hard time about the phones. I don't mind it. I don't care, because I feel like, in a weird way, people they cherish those videos, and even though it's horrible quality and horrible sound, they'll go back and look at that and be like, "Oh, I had a great time at that show." So,
do you ever find yourselves? Because I went to go see a show with Jay Oakerson, and I
What'd
saw
you see?
It was Korn, and like everybody in the front row, like I hadn't been in the show in years, so I was like, well, I wonder what it's going to be like. And everybody in the front row had their cameras out, and like the performers, I really had no choice but like to perform to both the crowd and to the phones.
Yeah.
So it kind of like changes the whole, like I guess you could say, experience when you know that like these people are really like, it's like I've never seen that. In comedy we hate it.
Well, that's just because you don't want the jokes leaking. Yeah, like then once they see the joke, it doesn't work as well. Music's got different.
There are musicians that hate it though. Like Jack White, like has security guards running through his shows the entire show, getting everybody with their phones to
I love
put
that.
away.
I think that's the right way to go.
We change the set every night for that reason, because then people go to setlist.com and they want to see the set, and so we just do a completely different set every night. That way, if you do have a video of the entire show, you're not necessarily going to get that same show. But with Korn, it's kind of sad because their shows used to be off the hook. Like
no, it still was off the hook. But I'm just saying, like
bouncing and going crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It wasn't like
do you like Korn?
Well, I like to go to actually, I know them from the past, and like I don't really go to shows, so it was cool that he asked me to go. But it's such a different experience now when you see all these phones out.
Right.
They ripped it, they killed it.
Yeah,
Where
they
did you
totally
see them?
killed it.
Yeah. Where were they?
At the I guess it was the Bowery Ballroom or one of those places, and in comedy though, like if the minute some guy pulls out a phone like that, it changes the whole dynamic.
That's different. Yeah, we hate it. Comedians really hate it. Some musicians do. Prince hated it for a while. He was,
Danzig will go after you. He'll go in the crowd.
He will
pull up that video. Danzig will be like, "You motherfucker!"
But like, what do they care for? Like, I get that it's hard to fight that it's going to happen.
It's distracting.
So you're okay with it then?
Not during comedy.
So then get more on my side with this.
I don't mind.
And then we'll talk about my hand if you want.
For music, I don't mind it as much, just because for music, you're not the songs people know and love the song. It's not going to hurt your enjoyment of the song.
You're trying to. It is going to hurt your enjoyment of the song. Like if you're there, like it definitely. You can't experience something if you're recording it.
You can't maybe, but I mean, like a meeting.
It's a totally
I don't
different.
mind if someone else is recording. It doesn't bother I don't care if other people are recording.
But a lot of musicians like feed off of the experience that the audience is having.
Yeah.
So they want you to be experiencing it, and when you put your phone up, you're like, well, "Are you doing this for now or for later? We're doing this right now."
That's what I thought was weird. But Korn totally did an awesome job. It's just that in the comedy world, when the phones go up, it becomes a different show. It's almost like this person is like, is it a fan or is this person a troll? Like you don't know,
right?
And like especially Jim and I, like we're always working on new stuff. So if it's not like a big show and it's just like a club show, you're like, what's this about? Have a good time, and then that's it.
Right.
Instead of like trying to capture the moment, it doesn't work in comedy.
Right.
And bigger comics than I agree with me on this. So
well, I know. I mean, Amy wouldn't have any phones up at all, and she was doing the garden.
Absolutely, yeah. She's smart.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
Because also that could go viral and then become a business, right? Like if you have some amazing bit that you haven't done yet, and it goes viral, and all these sites pick it up.
Yeah.
Those people then make those ad dollars. If it gets 4 or 5 million views, they could get a nice check.
Well, it's also they know your joke though. That's the problem.
That's the problem too. Yeah,
right.
Once the joke is out there before you get it on something, like a CD or a special, then you feel like it's already popped. You're done. But I don't know. I feel like if you're in a band now, like you almost have to like this is just going to be a wild show. But then there's like all this like I guess you could say it's I think it takes some of the fun out of the experience of seeing people with their phones.
Maybe it does.
Even if I'm in the crowd and I see it.
It does, because they would have been rocking out, fists in the air, or moshing, or doing something else, than getting this crappy, low quality video with terrible audio that 42 people are going to watch on YouTube.
Eventually they'll stop doing it.
Right.
It's just one of those things where, like years ago, it was camcorders and you'd buy the bootlegs, and now everyone can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But like we went to see Metallica at the Apollo years ago. Anthony made a couple of videos he took, and I watch them all the time. Like I'm so happy he has these great videos.
Same here. I was just watching that.
But
that show was amazing. I was there.
Yeah, I was at that. I was at that Metallica show, and like I'm glad that I wasn't taking video. You know what I mean? I'm glad that I got to watch the show.
I was watching Richard Christie cry.
Yeah.
I was watching.
Why was he crying?
So many people were
likes
crying.
Metallica?
There was a lot of people crying. Who's the guy from Insidious, the movie, the actor?
Oh yeah, he was sitting right behind me. Patrick Wilson.
I was sitting next to him. I was in the row with Howard and Ellis, and it was wild. It was crazy.
That's so funny. So you were
Did
right
you ever
there.
cry at a show?
Yes. Yeah, I have.
What show?
I think it was
Cats.
Carcass.
What's that?
Carcass. It was just so heavy that it brought a tear to my eye.
Dave, you ever cry at a concert?
What?
You ever cry at a concert?
I think I cried at the first Annie like 2 Annies ago. 2 Annies. I can't tell you what color she was, but a tear rolled down my cheek.
Before we move on from music completely, I just got breaking news in my headphones.
Cool.
That apparently Kanye West was just escorted up into Trump Tower.
Wow.
So
He's the new Secretary of State.
Yes. Donald is taking a meeting with Kanye West as we speak.
I love the Kanye.
Kanye said that he didn't vote, but if he did, he would have voted for Trump.
That's what he said.
So there you go.
Yeah, he's like, let me talk to you about that, Kanye. I don't know. Maybe they're going to strat it because Kanye also said he was going to. It says Donald Trump embraces Kanye West as he meets friend for 15 minutes and honors rapper by escorting him out of Trump Tower personally.
I'm sure security love that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I like about the new president. He's always available for like anything but what he's supposed to be doing.
Right. Anybody wants to meet, want to go grab dinner.
He's got whether it's opening a mall somewhere in Shanghai or executive producing The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that great? He's like, oh man, I got all this fucking shit to figure out before I'm president. Kanye wants to say hi. Oh, send him up.
Everybody.
Yeah, send him up.
Send an aircraft carrier to pick up Kanye.
Yeah, problem is he's out of the country. No problem. Send the plane.
That's
Send
okay.
the plane. Yeah.
Wow.
I would love to know what they talk about.
Well, I think we can all say it right now that New York City is a little different now. I mean, it's really hard to get around. It's really hard to get around.
If Kanye comes out now and says Donald Trump cares about black people.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Well, he said he was going to vote. He would have voted for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right before his breakdown. You see Kanye's blonde now, too?
He might
No,
run.
that's Trump.
He's blonde. He's fat and white and blonde.
Look at the poor Secret Service guys. They're like, oh, another 4 years of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, at least is Kanye an A-list celebrity?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So at least he's
Absolutely.
getting that, and it's not like Antonio. What's his name?
Hey,
Would have been great. DMX is at the White House.
Hey, well, at least he dressed up for the to meet the president.
You mean his black crew neck sweatshirt?
Scott Baio or whatever. Kanye's a big step up.
This is great.
Oh, I love this.
This is what it's going to be like, guys.
That's gotta suck for people who live there, though. All
Yes.
the Secret Service activity.
That's
No, that's
have you
not
heard-
Kanye. That's a lookalike. Look at that. It's an imposter.
No,
That's
that's
not him.
No?
No, look at that.
By the way, you know what's
clearly
funny?
Kanye West.
I was thinking how much I would hate, like, if you live there and you get escorts and they're used to coming over.
Yes, the
now
shaming.
with Secret Service there, like the security, it's going to be different.
Yeah, of course it is.
Different security for who comes in the building.
Tiffany's complaining.
And then when they walk out, the protesters, it's like, oh.
Oh my God.
Tiffany's complaining because their store is there, like, in the building on the same block there. It's an
Right.
outside entrance, but it's there. And because all the traffic is shut down and the protesters are there all the time, nobody's buying diamonds.
There you go. That's what
Nobody's
was
going to
holding
the
everyone
store.
back.
Well, they need to go to Steven Singer.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Tie in for our sponsor.
You know, they're trying to spin it as a positive, all the Secret Service. They caught brokers that are selling apartments in that building, talking about it as the most secure building in New York.
In a way, they're right. Like, why shouldn't brokers use that? Like, the distractions of trying to sell a fucking apartment with all this happening, they got to spin it. Hey, look, we noticed 1,500 people in front of the building screaming, die. Oh, yeah, but there's extra security. They have to spin it.
I love that. Technically, you don't get the Secret Service, but they'll be here.
No one's causing a problem in Trump Tower for 4 years.
That'll be great.
18,000 a month for a one-bedroom.
How much?
18,000.
Is that how much it is?
Pull it up. Let's see.
Because I had a 3-bedroom there, but I got rid of it. But I got $500,000 for it.
Really?
I don't know if you got a good deal on that apartment, Jim. $500,000.
To buy one, it's probably 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you it's going. I bet you they had to lower the price because no one wants to live there.
$2,900 a foot. Wow.
A one-bedroom.
So what's 500 square feet?
I wonder if they have like a laundry there, like what you run into them doing your laundry, like down the basement.
You think Trump has to use the community laundry?
I mean, it might be less. Maybe it's like $13,000 a month or something.
The laundry room for the building is on the 5th floor, so you may see President-elect Trump
Throwing a load in there.
Melania just comes down and she does laundry on Tuesdays.
Yeah, a pair of bunny slippers.
Yeah, let's keep the machines clear, okay?
So he's going to live there on the weekends. Is that what it is? And then during the week he'll be in the White House.
Well, Melania and the kid are still going to live there at least until the school year's out.
Yeah. He'll be traveling so much.
He'll be traveling, but still, if Melania and the kid are there, then the Secret Service stays. Like they'll be there with both of them.
Yeah, there you go.
But they get Secret Service.
I heard that too. That they were like running out of Secret Service guys because they're like spread out.
Right.
Plus, his children have to have Secret Service, Ivanka and all them.
Right.
And then there's Hillary and her team. Like there's like too many teams out there right now.
Chris Christie's like, and I get some too, and they're like, no, Chris,
he doesn't get it.
No, Chris, you're out. You're done. It's over for you.
He's done. He's a Cowboys fan. How can that be?
Chris Christie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
Good boy.
How is that? How could you get reelected after that?
I don't know.
I mean, no offense to anybody listening in Dallas. I'm just saying. Like,
Maybe Kanye was picking up strategies for when he runs in 2020. He said he was going to run for president.
Oh, is he?
That's what he said. But I mean, I don't know if you know this. He said a lot of crazy shit in the past.
No, he hasn't.
I know.
that rent $32.50 a month. That can't be right. That has to be.
I bet you he performs at the inauguration.
Kanye?
Yep.
Yeah. That'd be the fucking best inauguration ever.
I bet, but that's a great point. That's what he's probably trying to do.
Do you have any idea how excited I'd be if Kanye West performed? I would want to go to Washington.
You wouldn't lose him as a you wouldn't. He wouldn't lose him as a fan. You'd be more into it.
I think he's the man. If he performed at the inauguration, I'd be so psyched.
I wouldn't care either way. I'm not a fan, so I'd be like, ugh.
But what about other Kanye fans?
Who else would perform? That's a good list, though. Like, who else would do it?
Kanye's
country singers. They'll probably get country singers.
Yeah.
Kanye's probably like, I'll do it, but nobody else can do it.
Nuge.
I'm not sharing the stage. Yeah, Kid Rock is selling pro-Trump T-shirts.
Oh, so maybe Kid Rock would do it.
Kid Rock and Kanye
That's a great
West.
show. That's a great show. I saw him at Red Rock. He killed it. He was
Kid Rock,
great.
yeah.
That's a great show.
I just don't know if the fans, like the Kanye and Kid Rock fans, I don't know if
They might mix a little bit better because Kid Rock came from kind of doing rap too, so he wasn't.
Yeah, but now those aren't the same fans anymore. Now he sings country music and waves the stars in bars everywhere he goes.
Yeah, but I think Jim will back us up. But once you're at that level of celebrity, everyone's a fan.
Everyone's a fan. Absolutely.
Favorites. Yeah,
I'm worried about your hand.
No, I do kettlebells, so
How'd you hurt yourself?
Well, because they're rough, and I don't wear gloves, which you're supposed to
wear
do.
gloves. I've worn gloves when I work out.
Are you still working out like you do?
Yes.
How's that going? That's been years now.
Yeah.
It's an insulting question, though.
Is it?
When you go, are you still working out?
Do you think it takes the edge off of you? Like, are you angry? Because I feel like I'm angrier now that I work out.
No, it doesn't affect it. I feel better that I do it.
Yeah.
How long have you been working out for?
Hey,
Dave?
if you don't want to get into it, that's fine. But this is radio. I'm trying to get used to the new format here.
How long have you been working out for?
Like 2 years. Something like that. I started.
And it's been an angrier 2 years.
No, I feel angrier now than when I first started.
Oh, I see.
Like I always thought, like you work out, it takes out that anger.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Do you have a trainer?
I think I'm doing it wrong. That's what I think.
Do you have a trainer?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
They come to my house sometimes. I like that.
In your apartment or in your gym in the apartment?
No, my apartment. I would never. I don't like gyms, but like sometimes you have to go to a gym.
I go to the gym. I would never want anybody in my apartment. What do they have you do? Deep knee bends in your apartment? What do you do in your apartment?
No, I have the kettlebells in there.
Oh, that'd be weird.
Yeah, you don't
swinging them into my own apartment? No way.
No, well, hey, I'm just saying I'd rather not fight the traffic, and I don't like going to the gym. I hate it.
Yeah.
Do you?
You don't have glass containers of collectibles everywhere, though.
I like
Jim has way too many collectibles.
But just for the locker room. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I figure. Are you the kind of guy who goes for the workout but hangs all day because you just can't stop talking to everybody?
He's so funny. I do know a dude like that. Like, I see him. I'll come back an hour later and he's still primping his hair.
Yeah, they have nowhere else to go. It's crazy.
What are you doing?
And they need a sense of community. They need a place where there's people around, and they can have their little conversations, like mirror conversations.
I'm in and out so fast in the gym. I do my hour. I'll sometimes go in the steam room for a few minutes, shower. I don't want to talk to fucking anybody.
Well, there's these people like when I go to the gym, I see them. They're like in their early 20s and they're like working out, and I'm like, okay, and then they just hang out. Like I guess that's their social place. And
in their 20s, you think they have like a bunch of family money or something? They just have nothing.
No,
going
I
on?
mean like whenever it's like after work or whatever it is.
gotcha.
But like, it's weird that like they're in it, like they're not going to go out and party. That's like their kind of night, you know,
That's
like
like-
going to hang out there. And when I was, you know, in my 20s, like that would have been like the last thing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they were like in college and like that, they were kind of like nerdish, and they're like, you know, this is like the gym is a safe place. You know, hang out
Are they
here.
getting laid though? Are they gay guys who are hooking up?
Well, easy. I don't know if they're actually hooking up, but it's not that kind of swarmy Jimmy thing.
This took a turn,
It's like
didn't it?
everybody.
Fair question.
Everybody
it
looks
is.
like they're like you know, like a CrossFit, Muay Thai, you know, warrior types. You
So
know?
yes, they are.
It's like it's like a Game of Thrones, you know, extras.
Do you just
casting?
You just do kettlebell stuff, or do you do any of that like Muay Thai fighting?
I can't do the Muay Thai.
You can't?
I
You
wish I
tried?
was younger. I'd like to do
What do
it.
you do?
Yeah.
Kettlebells? You just swing them?
I swing them around. Yeah,
You
I thought you
squat?
said you do them. You squat.
I stopped doing. I do them once in a while.
Well,
but
what's your workout then?
I have. Don't need to yell at me, Dave. I'll be
No,
happy
I want to.
bring in.
I want to see if energy is good on the show. Let's see it.
I do.
You really are angrier.
I do this kettlebell swings and kettlebell squat lifts, but I don't do anything else with them.
Well, what's your workout then?
And what depends on the day, it switches up.
Oh,
Like yesterday, I did crab push-ups and a whole bunch of other things.
Crab push-ups?
That's where you do a push-up and you move down and you do a push-up and you push
Yeah,
down and come back.
I like
and
that.
I did squat presses where you squat, stand, curl, press. I do those a lot.
Oh, so you use free weights? That's what.
Yeah, I
want
like
to
free weights.
If you want a great kettlebell workout, check out this guy Mike Mahler, Mahler.
Oh, he does a shop.
I'll put my guy up against
Mauler.
No,
I didn't know we were going to do.
He's
Do you
got,
do burpees, Jim?
He's got
Oh,
like
yeah.
a.
Oh, you do the burpees?
1,500.
He's got a DVD. He's got like training DVDs for kettlebells that are really good.
Oh, that's cool.
And,
Probably haven't done 1,500 burpees in your life.
Yeah.
If you try to do this DVD, you'll be just destroyed. I'm sure he's.
Oh
got
wow, that's
clips.
pretty interesting.
I'm going to sell a workout DVD.
You are?
That's what I'm going to do.
Well, my guy, Coach Fury, is excellent. So
Coach
he's
Fury?
yeah, that's his name, and he's great.
No wonder you're
badass.
Coach Fury. I'll say it again.
It's like Rex Kwon Do.
And he
Bobby
totally.
Sensei.
He totally like you know, like there's all these kettlebell like I guess you have to get like these evaluations and like you know next level of kettlebelling. Like, you know, it's amazing. Like where like you can lift like 100 pounds of kettlebell over your head and then like bust the front. That's him. Yes,
Coach Fury.
Yes. Don't let the glasses fool you. He's an animal.
Here's my only
He's
question.
great because he also like is good at working with like people who are like in good shape and also people like me who are like basically you know,
quotes-
it's some kind of like make a wish thing.
He quotes Rambo on his website.
Yes.
Stand for something or
Ram-
die for nothing.
When is Stallone going to be called into Trump's for the next? I feel at some
They
point
got
he's
to
going to
put
bring
him
it
in charge of the army or something, right?
It's fun.
I thought at least Bruce Willis would be called in because a lot of these guys supported him all the way through.
Well, Kanye, that's a shot to people's ego if Kanye got that first nod.
I wonder, you know, like what other rappers out there were secretly supporting Trump.
I bet a lot of them. They
You
all
think
love
so?
their money.
Yeah, there you go.
And Trump's like a rapper. You know what I mean?
He is. Yeah,
He's opulent.
Yeah, he rolls hard.
Yeah, he does. Jim, you said something in there that you're going to do a workout DVD.
Yes, I am.
When did you decide that? Because I hadn't heard.
I
usually
want to do it. I feel I'm qualified to do it.
Do you wear a
Usually we
little
run
outfit or
business.
I do.
You do? See, I wouldn't
Yellow
do that.
spandex shorts.
You do?
Yeah, no underpants.
A hint of camel toe.
Yeah, just a hint.
So that I don't like. I don't like any of that.
Oh, I love it.
What's the? Because usually we run business ideas past each other.
Oh.
So what's the? I mean, what's the premise of the workout DVD?
Just get in shape, man. I'll do a few exercises, show you how to do them.
Like what?
I'll put some whatever squats, some kettlebell jazz.
And then you should back it up with a book of healthy choice diets
Sure.
that you do.
Is there any music playing?
No, I don't want to get the rights to music.
You know, what
So you
should
just
do?
don't. You're just gonna skip music altogether.
And I'll just kind of coach people.
Well,
Like
you should-
how?
Oh.
As Chip.
No, just me. I'll say like, hey, swing a little bit of the kettlebells. Here's what you do,
Oh,
and
that's
that works.
actually-
This,
It's actually really contagious.
yeah.
Hey, how about you do this? You back it up with some of your most favorite healthy, lonely meals in hotels all over America. They have an asparagus soup at the Radisson Inn that you might want to try. Here I am watching watching some illegal porn on their system.
Yeah, you can get your arm in shape for shining the flashlight on the newspaper while you're eating alone.
Yeah.
Do you do room service when you're on the road, or you go out?
Only both. I actually do both.
See, I don't do that. I try and like get out of the hotel.
I
How
do
do you
too,
How
but-
do you guys roll? Like when you're on the road, what do you guys do?
Yeah, we got to get out of the hotel. Go
And
out.
You also have that thing like at a show, like at a concert, like they'll have that like backstage, like for the crew and everything. Like they'll have that food. Do you guys eat that food too? Or
Well, now some of these places that we've been playing that do have a nice kitchen or a restaurant attached, they're not giving you like the deals like they used to. Like,
yeah.
It used to be like, oh, you could, play House of Blues. I mean, House of Blues still will do it, where they have a really nice catering. But we just played this place in Birmingham that had this awesome restaurant. But of course, we had to pay.
What?
You don't
Do
travel
they
with
make
the
you
chef.
pay for food in the
No.
restaurant you're working in?
Some of these venues do, especially if the tickets, like in Birmingham, like we're gonna sell maybe 400 or 500 tickets in a club that holds 1,200 people. You're not gonna get.
Oh, you've been to the Star Dome. That's a hard sell.
It sure is, right?
It really is, right?
You
Oh,
notice
look,
that?
it came alive.
Yeah.
I played there like 7 times. Every time I play there, it's like another rung of the place is less sold. So it's almost like now it's like just like a very intimate conversation.
Yeah, I've had. I don't think of you ever having trouble selling tickets. I guess sometimes in certain markets it's rough, though, right?
Yeah, no, Birmingham used to be great for me, but that was like during the height of like I guess the Insomniac thing.
Right.
But the crowds that do show are really
great.
good.
Awesome.
I haven't been there in years. I'd like to go back though.
We should take a break.
Oh yeah, let's take a break and
Gotta-
tinkle. Dave is going to be doing Caroline's New Year's Eve that whole
No,
weekend.
the 28th through the 30th. Not
Oh,
New Year's
sorry,
Eve.
you're not.
Yeah, not New Year's
Are
Eve.
you doing New Year's Eve anywhere or no?
I'll probably be, I don't know, I guess local somewhere, maybe
Okay,
Cellar.
28th through 30th at Caroline's. And why do they just keep you for one more night?
I think they have their own like thing. I wouldn't want to. I mean, like that's
do you
such a
think-
crazy night, anyhow.
I'll be at the.
I'm old.
Well, you and me both, Dave. We'll talk. Guys who give it like old person banter. I'm doing my workout DVD. I'd love you to make a guest appearance.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's gonna be so fucking hot. I'll be at
Like sexy, right?
Yeah.
I'll hand you a towel at the end. Nice
Yeah.
one, killer.
Dab my forehead. It's good. I'm going to be in the Tarrytown Music Hall New Year's Eve.
Whoa.
Nice 8 o'clock show. Bringing in that
Exciting.
New Year early.
That's great.
Get home.
Exciting.
Get there early. They have some great homemade ice cream right around the block.
Do they?
Yeah, it's like one of those little towns. Like
And I'll
Maybe
tell
I'll
you,
treat myself.
you know what, Jim? There's a great vegan place. You're always looking for vegan
Yeah.
places. There's a great vegan place right across the street from Terrytown Music Hall.
Ooh,
or get there a day early and go to Sleepy Hollow, huh? Where history comes alive.
And Jamey Jasta, you got your very own podcast as well.
Yeah, I got an awesome interview up now with Nick Diaz. He like rarely does full length
cool.
podcasts, so check it out. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, or sign up to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use my code though, JASTA. Just type in Jasta. There's a bunch of free songs up there under my bonus content section, and I got 2 gigs coming up: February 17th in San Antonio at the
Nice.
Paper Tiger, and February 18th in Amarillo at the Ink Life Tattoo Convention.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
And we'll be back after this. Yeah, I don't know.
He may be smoking. He walked me to the bathroom.
They might have gone downstairs. He's not vaping yet. He's still smoking cigarettes.
I don't know.
Man, oh man. Well, Jamey Jasta's here. David Attell will be back. It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Do you have a smoking lounge?
There was a.
We're just chilling today. We're just cold chilling.
Oh, shut up.
Wait, did he order my sneakers? Where's my credit card?
They're not going to come on time.
Because that place wouldn't get them here in time.
Oh, did you find them?
I'm looking.
He's gonna
I might
try
have
to-
go to Jamaica Avenue and just like go to the stores. And find
Where's my credit card?
I have it in my pocket.
D-Bag's going to hold on to it for a little while.
No, I'll get back.
Oh, no, it's
I need it.
it's fine.
What are we on a shopping spree or something of that nature? Well, they don't do overnight shipping.
No, it's a third party.
Yeah, it's probably in China.
It must be from China because
It's
it said
not-
the earliest it would be here was January 12th, and that was the only option for shipping.
They don't
That's
sell
so good.
They don't sell direct from. They don't sell bootleg Yeezys direct from Amazon.
So what about Jordans? Are they still like a big deal, or it's just now it's
Yeah,
fun
they're
to
fucking
eat?
These are Air
huge.
Jordans. What I'm wearing now.
No, they're not.
They are so.
They're shitty Asics.
No, they're not.
They're
They're
falling
fucking-
apart.
Those are Air Jordans.
They're different.
Why don't you have Reeboks? You got the UFC hookup. Why don't they get you some nice Reeboks?
Maybe they would, but these are Jordans. I'm wearing a pair of. These are Jeff Jordans. They're good.
They just showed Kanye coming out of Trump Tower with Trump.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't comment on anything. The press was like, "Don't you have a comment to make? Don't you have a comment to make?" And he was like, I just want to take a picture." And so they took a photo together, Trump and Kanye. And then when he said goodbye, Trump gave him like the black guy handshake into the hug thing.
Oh, no.
It was great.
He didn't botch it either.
No, it was good.
The angle, there might have been some awkwardness at the end of it.
I don't know.
But the angle didn't show it. It just showed a little bit of a...
It looked legit. And while we're on the topic of Trump, we're getting, the show that we did in 2008.
That K-Rock extravaganza.
That was the golden age.
Oh, sure was.
That was when it was good.
Oh, my God, yeah. No cursing. That was a ball.
Better that way.
Oh, much better.
But Triple H's appearance on our show is getting highlighted all over the place today. Because you remember the wrestling storyline that we talked about a lot on the show? about Vince McMahon blowing up in the limousine?
I do.
Well, Triple H, and we had forgotten, on the show brought up Donald Trump in that context. You want to hear it?
I do, yeah. This is from 2008.
Yes.
Subtle, you know? Sam, you got a question for Triple H? You're always good with the question.
Yeah, sure. How worried were you when you thought Vince McMahon was dead?
Oh man, I was scared to death. If I hadn't seen them pre-tape it where he got in and out of the car, you know.
Of course, you're talking about the limo explosion. When we saw that,
what kills me is so many people call. I mean, the office next day, like people. I'm not kidding you. Like, and they'd probably be mad at me for saying, like, Trump called and was like, "Did something happen to Vince?" You know what I mean? Like,
did Trump not understand that was a skit?
It's the magic of television. You know what I mean?
All right, we got to get out of here.
That's a good follow-up on your part, Jim, clarifying that.
Did Trump not understand that? Absolutely. I wanted to get in there. I sensed this video will be big someday.
By the way, the headline on Deadspin right now says Donald Trump. It says Donald Trump is unclear on whether wrestling is real.
Oh, that's great. What's the headline on that haircut from 2008? Let's go back to see you.
It's a little.
Yeah, that was a little.
Sam?
A little longer, a little dome shape.
It's nice little pussy willow hair.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it was.
Looks like a tighter curl there, Sam.
Well, I think I was grooming it a little bit.
Yeah.
I hadn't given up.
Yeah, he's the Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
It's a little. It's like a serious clown.
Yeah, a little
like
bit.
a clown who during the day is also a lawyer.
That's me without the paint. Yeah, that was. I think there was a pick involved. There were combs involved. That was actually there was some grooming there.
Is that your natural hair? It is curly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
There was more of it then, though.
That'd be great if that was.
Oh yeah.
Although
you
I'd
mean just
say,
because it was longer, or you mean in different parts?
Just everywhere. There's a lot more.
Okay, yeah.
Did you notice that?
I would say though,
moved down to Reseda Avenue.
I think
a
so.
little bit.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's pretty much the same if you look. Or is
no, it looks better
somewhere?
now. It looks way better now.
You think so?
No.
No, I think now you look like a. You know, it's just better. It really does.
Now you look like Willy Wonka. Back then you looked like a young
like
back then you look like Art Garfunkel without Simon.
Back then it was like there was too much to deal with. Now it's a little easier now. Yeah, it's just.
And do the curtains match the drapes, or what's going on downtown? What's going on downtown?
Jeez, damn, I didn't know this was that kind of show.
Is that morning radio, or what's going on here? Let's get back to something else. No, I think the Wu-Tang Clan said it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I just love that now all of a sudden 8 years later.
Oh, sure.
Donald Trump is being exposed as this guy who might not have realized that a wrestling storyline was not exactly a documentary. Poor Donald, right? But that Donald was involved in the other one that everybody got all. When Donald bought Monday Night Raw at one point on WWE TV, so you'd think he might realize that, unless he thought he was the actual owner. Maybe he thought he was the real owner and didn't realize that it was just.
Well, he
just
also had his
television.
own football league, right? For a while, wasn't
Vince?
that his, yeah. No, I'm talking about Donald. I mean, like
I guess they both had their own football leagues.
Oh, yeah, you got to watch that documentary on 30 for 30.
It looks good. It looks really good.
What was Trump's?
USFL.
Yeah, the USFL. He's trying to start his own.
He killed it.
The Generals.
Trump killed it. Watch the documentary.
Jersey Generals.
Mm-hmm.
He killed he had beef with these dudes, the other investors, right? And he killed the league.
When was
they
that?
Had Herschel Walker. They had a bunch of good players.
Sure, Herschel Walker is responsible for the Cowboy dynasty of the early 90s because they traded Herschel for all these picks and got all these fucking amazing young players for him.
I love that like Vince still started his own football league. After it didn't pan out for Donald, he was like, well, it didn't work for Donald, but for me, I can make this happen.
Oh, XFL. I remember that. Was that Arena?
No.
Well, the problem
that was regular football.
The XFL pre-show is what killed it.
What was that?
It's Opie and Anthony.
They're doing I thought that's what you were talking about with the documentary because they're doing a 30 for 30 on the XFL next.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Well, watch the one for the USFL. It was, I'm surprised nobody's ran with that merch. That would be cool, like fun throwback merch, like for all those teams. I would totally get one of those. Whatever I forget what the Jersey team was.
I would buy it at a pop-up store for like $150.
Jersey Generals.
Oh, this is what is this?
This is it. This is the XFL.
XFL footage.
Was that Deion Sanders? They didn't have.
No, they did not get Deion Sanders. They had He Hate Me. That was their biggest player because they could write little nicknames on the back of their jerseys, like the original Twitter names.
And did they play like during the regular season or was it off season?
Off season.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but this is real hard hitting smash mouth football, not like that pussy NFL shit.
So if this was around today, they could get like Tebow, and who could they get?
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, they would.
He'd be a big draw.
He'd be
right?
the star there.
Smash
That Vince McMahon. I wonder how rich that guy is. I
He's
mean,
worth about $2 million.
No way.
Significantly more than.
I mean, come on, like that guy.
Yeah, he's worth about something like $1 billion. And Linda is in Trump's cabinet.
I know.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
My God.
There was a lot of open seats at the XFL games.
What about XFL
think
merch?
so?
Pull up eBay. Can we get XFL merch?
Oh,
right
yeah.
now?
XFL merch is not exactly running at a premium.
No?
No.
Is that the type of stuff that then they just send to like some really poor country as like a write-off?
I think
and
they have
give it away.
Boxes of it in there. Oh, yeah.
He
He hate me.
$34.99. That's reasonable.
The Rage XFL Championship football jersey. Is it $12.99? It says
I like
that's not
it.
peanuts.
$13?
The Memphis Maniacs.
Yeah.
With an X, though. Do you see that it's
Right.
Maniacs with an X? That's because it's a little more smash mouth, this brand of football.
I
It's a little saucy. Like you don't bring your kid.
No, you wouldn't want to bring your kid. No,
Bring
no,
your
no,
stepkid to this
And let me
kind
tell
of
you
thing.
something. Wait till you see these cheerleaders we got in the XFL.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, are the Raiders really going to Vegas?
That I don't know.
Wow, that's going to be really tough for SF.
Didn't they just come to L.A.?
Oakland.
I heard that.
No.
So
No,
I've
Oakland. The
definitely-
Rams went to L.A.
I'm
Oh.
getting a place, and I'm going to just make it an Airbnb in Vegas because think about how many people from the other teams, like those fans that will fly in. It's so easy
That's
from
true.
Denver, from San Diego. It's such a quick flight. Like I think that's a good move. I mean, obviously Oakland people will be bummed, but
They're not moving.
I don't know
you
why
think
we
they're going to move.
But it's a ploy to stay in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
I think there was a Las Vegas XFL team.
How many?
Yeah, there were. The Vegas. I
You all right?
actually didn't mean to do that. That was a mistake. I was just picking up my head.
I didn't know there still was a drop button.
Well, I
That's
told
funny.
you it was smash mouth. You know, these football, even the names of the teams, you don't want to say it in front of mixed
Wait,
company.
the Vegas. What? Don't. Las Vegas. I just can't remember.
You don't. You don't know.
The Gamblers.
That's not true. I remember there was a Vegas team and it was some cheesy name.
The Vegas Degenerates.
No, it was.
I know what it was.
Oh, what was it? I don't remember.
The Blackjacks, the croupiers.
The Las Vegas. The lose
Buffets.
it all and kill yourselves. That was it. I don't remember.
It was the Las Vegas Outlaws.
The Take a Knees.
The Outlaws.
Yeah, the Las Vegas Outlaws.
You didn't even compliment my Las Vegas fanny pack.
Oh, it's nice. I didn't notice it.
I can't believe we're all not living in Las Vegas. I mean, that is the best play. I mean, as an entertainer,
I
you're
won't
close to
draw
every
there.
town that way.
I'm not going to draw there.
You're not going to draw there, but if you live there, like there's a couple of comics that live there.
There's great flights out of there.
Yeah.
Ryan Regan lives out there. You can get a flight anywhere.
Anywhere in the world. You know, let's say you want to do your classic every year you do Hong Kong. You bang, you're there. Right
That
there.
is true. Vegas airport probably have never delayed, not very few delays because the weather's good.
Oh. You get a lot of flights out of New York, though.
Nah, New York is tough.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if you're
New
a
York
Big
is
Apple,
that's fantasy league right there. There's no way.
you get 3 airports here if you're Big Applin.
If you're what?
Big Applin.
You do White Plains?
What's that?
You do the White Plains airport?
Only White Plains.
Really?
Westchester.
Wow, I didn't know
Airport.
that you rolled like that.
No, I've never flown to White Plains, the
Just
international
the only,
airport.
no, the only
it's
place you can go is
that's
Orlando.
No, my father went to Ireland from there.
I thought that was a private jet only.
No, they got commercial.
That's Teterboro.
That's Teterboro, yeah. I thought that would be your little. No, you don't fly.
I've flown private once.
How are you going to get to Terrytown on New Year's Eve, Dan?
I'm driving. Limousine. I've rented a limousine.
You never did Hobo
tripping.
Jet?
Party bus. What's that?
You never did Hobo Jet?
I almost said yes. I misunderstood you. No.
Do you know how much it would make me laugh if Jim just showed up to Terrytown in a party bus by himself?
That would
he
be
just,
great.
He just rode in it like it was a car.
I'd love to do that.
Looking for vegan
Will you be
food
doing
and
the
homemade ice
countdown
cream?
with
I
the?
party with laughter and coffee.
Will you be doing the countdown for the?
Sure, at 8 o'clock. at 9:30.
Will you?
Yeah.
So are you going to stay over, or are you going to come back to the city?
You know, that's a good. I'll probably come back.
Yeah.
You can hit up our place.
Why don't you split the difference and just go to Orange County?
How far is Terrytown Music Hall from here?
From here?
45 minutes, an hour and a half, something like that.
No, it's not an hour and a half. It's like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Do they do music?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it's a venue.
That's
That'd be kind of silly if they didn't.
That's a cool theater because like you can go see Spyro Gyra or like one of those kind of like
seats.
fusion, like
Yeah,
fusion
seats.
music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or a reading. You could see a nice reading
You
there.
could probably an author interview.
Yeah.
Sidney Poitier.
You do Ridgefield?
I've done the Playhouse, yeah.
How is that?
I think it was good. I think I only did it once. Connecticut.
Yeah.
And who like? Do you have an opener? Like, I really don't know how you do.
Kelsey has been working with me. Kelsey Cook. Yeah, she
that's cool.
she did this tour with me. She's funny.
She coming to Tarrytown?
No. No, her boyfriend's in town now, so I think that they're going to stay until the shoot's done, and then she goes back, and I'll get somebody local for Tarrytown.
That's good.
How was Hartford?
Yeah, how
You were
was
in my
it?
neck.
It was good.
What was Hartford like?
Oh, it was good. I did so many Whalers jokes.
Did they go over well?
Fucking went nuts.
Did they?
Place went ballistic.
I'll bet they did.
They went crazy.
I mean, really unglued.
Yeah.
We have a brand of Smash Mouth comedy.
Smash Mouth. That's what I should call the special. Smash Mouth comedy.
Yeah. Jim's more brand. It's comedy, but it's spelled with an X.
What is your rider like now at this age, at this point in your life?
It's so boring. It's a little bit of a fruit, like a little bit of fresh fruit, a little vegetables, and raw, unsalted almonds. Some Gulden's mustard. A few Diet Cokes and some water.
Does it have to be Gulden's?
No, it's preferred. It's very cheap. It's very inexpensive because what happens is that money comes out of the back end and you fucking lose it.
That's right.
I don't need a whole lot. Maybe
Let's
a
get
little bit
some-
of beer too,
let's
but
get-
not for me if I have guests. But
Let's get some snacks for Tarrytown.
Now I wonder what Kanye his rider would be.
Probably about the same. Just a little mustard, a little pretzel.
He probably likes
some
weird
Diet
shit.
Coke.
Some Activia.
I see him like getting off on the fact that they had to get all this stuff.
Oh,
Like it's
definitely.
definitely guys like that where it's like they had to run out and try and find a dinosaur egg or some kind of weird.
champagne.
Yeah, how has his rider not been posted on like one of these sites?
Google like
Smoking
Kanye.
Gun or what is those?
Well, he's showing up with Kim Kardashian, so she's already complicated.
That's a ritzy titsy bitch.
Ritzy Tipsy.
What's her name? Her sister just is divorced now.
Look at you up on the Hollywood guys.
Pop culture,
Dave,
Attell.
we were actually, I'm glad because we were actually thinking, we were considering of tapping you in for maybe like a Hollywood gossip segment once a week.
Sure. Let me get out my flip phone and see if I'm available.
Hennessy, he has Hennessy on ice. All right.
Alcoholic slushy machine. Wow.
Yeah, man, he likes to fucking
All right,
party.
that's pretty
He
cool.
also
I
has
don't
a lot
blame
of
him.
people
If you drink,
Grey
I
Goose
mean.
and lemonade. That's not weird.
Grey Goose and Lemonade. He's hanging out with Donald Trump. He's the fucking man right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, for a guy on that level, if he can have a pretty ridiculous rider if he wants.
Yeah,
no, that's
I
what
heard J Lo used to like white couches, like she do the Tonight Show.
she wanted to stain him.
That's just cunty.
Just want to make him brown.
Yeah,
Wanna
Japanese
leave-
flag. She's on a rag.
Yeah, but whenever you always talk to those people about their ride, well, not that I would, but like they always go, "That's not me. That's like their manager or
It
something
might
like that."
be.
Like
Who knows?
It's them.
they
Kanye
also-
wants Grey Goose slushies.
But
That's what he wants.
that's not even that crazy. A little slushy machine.
yeah, that's not bad. But they also roll with a different crowd, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I'm picking up what you're putting down,
Video
Dave.
games.
They're not going to get into the whole like, oh, look at all these herbal teas back here. You know, he's
not-
got to impress.
I see.
The best rider is GNR. They probably have the best stuff. Because he used to get like a baby lamb and they would like roast it on a spit.
No way.
A
A
spigot.
sacrifice.
What do they call that?
That's
A bacon
satanic sacrifice. Yeah.
A baby lamb? Why? He liked lamb?
Yeah, and I don't think he would. I think he wouldn't go on stage until they got the lamb. Like one time, he waited like 3 hours.
What
and
a
they
dick.
They got the lamb and they roasted it.
Can you eat before you go on? I can't do that. Can you do that, Jim?
A little bit, yeah.
Well,
Not
yeah,
right
so it's a little
before.
mustard.
3
I
hours
snack.
prior or something.
Yeah,
But,
that's good. Make your fans wait 3 hours.
I like
so you
to not
get a
eat
lamb.
all day and then go on. You
Just
know?
fast?
Godsmack
Yeah,
has
like-
You want a
nice,
comedy fast?
I like to do that. Yeah, I like to do like the humor. The humors come out.
Ozzy's is probably not that crazy. What is Ozzy's?
We're out of time.
They've had fruit and vegetables back there. You know,
We're out of time. However, Adrian, you can still look up Ozzy's rider if you want. Speaking of riders, Jamey, Jasta, you got a couple shows coming up.
Yeah, February 17th, San Antonio at the Paper Tiger with OTEP, and February 18th at the Ink Life Tattoo Convention in Amarillo, Texas.
Dave Attell, what's going to be on your rider at Caroline's December 28th through the 30th? That's the question.
What? Well, you know, I like to bring in candy corn. You know, no, I will. I'm excited for the gig. I always play there every year, so it's kind of like a little
Tradition.
It's a tradition, and I will. I'm hoping the fans will show up because I'm going to bring it. How about that?
Well,
I'm bringing
if you're going to bring it, you guys out there, you got to bring it too. Caroline's the 28th through the 30th to see Dave Attell. And Jim, Tarrytown Music Hall?
Yeah. New Year's Eve. And there was something else I wanted to promote, and I can't remember quite what it was.
Yeah.
Real Jim Norton on Snapchat. I've been Snapchatting.
Oh. Who's going on the podcast?
UFC podcast. We had Mickey Gall yesterday, but there was technical problems. Now, Wednesday, tomorrow, we have Bob Kelly coming in.
Oh, that's great. Bob is so funny. He's good.
Nice. He just got a new show, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if they shot the pilot. I don't know if it's been picked up, but I know his pilot was shot.
Excellent. And you can follow our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. You don't follow to YouTube, Dave. Everybody knows that. You subscribe to it.
Of course.
That's crazy.
The network.
Jim and Sam Show on YouTube, and we have videos of a ton of stuff. And we'll have, I'm sure, video from this show up there within a few days.
Hey, thanks for having me in, guys. It's good to see you.
Thanks for being here, Dave. That was
and
fun.
Jamey, nice meeting you.
You too.
Really.
Yeah, I'd love to have you on my show.
Gas Digital, Jamey?
Yeah, gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the code Jasta. I have Doyle coming up, Elisa from Arch Enemy, Don Jameson, Jim Florentine. I got a ton of shows coming up, so check it out.
Should be good. We'll see you tomorrow.